where this body decorticates, takes it apart. The breath upon your questions and thoughts. Let me go back and see what's going on here. I've never met someone who sees numbers as I never met someone who sees numbers as I do. I'm so grateful to be shown. Thank you, August Lane. Your name starts with gold and a gust of wind that leaves you in the lane, not alone, Elaine. Not alone, Elaine. Lanny, Elaine, alone, Elaine. So you have Elaine. If you say Elaine or lay, that could be the eggs. So you would be having how many eggs? You couldn't get a dozen eggs out of a chicken in a week. It's going to take you 2 weeks. 2 weeks and 1 day separating those eggs in the dozen, right? You know how that works? The chicken, the hen lays 6 eggs. Okay, in the utopia understanding, even if the chicken lays 7 eggs and lays an egg on every single day, in the utopia world, okay, in this Urantia utopia world, what they say online, if I go online and say how many eggs does it lay, they're going to tell me, because this is what the farmers say, that the chicken will lay 6 eggs and then it will not lay 1 egg on the 7th day. So I'm going to bring up, I think Cynthia's in, whoop. How's it going? How's it going? Somebody else wanted to come up here. So, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm really excited.
I'm excited also. So where was I? Thank God. Now listen. So when I'm here, I just want to tell everybody a little bit about myself. That the minute I'm interrupted, if I turn my head to look at the comments, if somebody said something to me, I'm no longer on the highway. I don't remember what I was talking about in most parts. So I'm hoping that I came on to do these lives. I came on to share my story, because writing it in a book and putting it in my closet behind me, no one's coming here till the book is finished. And guess what? Life still.
Shit, what happened?
In the zodiac.
This
Hidden
audio.
in the zodiac. How can it be hidden in the zodiac? In the name Ram, in the name Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo and Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. 9 could be the monkey, and it could be Sagittarius. The Capricorn could be the rooster. 11 could be Aquarius. Over to the dog, we got the pig, and we're finishing in Pisces. Yet, when they start the midnight hour, why are they starting at Capricorn? When they start the year in the zodiac sign, the first zodiac sign is Capricorn, which joins both the 12th month and the first month, equaling to the 13th month association. So now I stop myself from thinking to put others on, and I lose myself a little bit. So if you want to put me back to where I was, or I'm just going to.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about the zodiac.
Okay, yes, all right. Okay, so good. So what I was saying about the zodiac is that every astrological sign has a numerated position. Now, the numerated position that it has can move in the understanding how numbers move according to the cube, and the association how numbers are over here, and the establishment of numbers according to Saturn's square, where what happened is number 9 got pushed over to the 2 position, where number 7 got pushed over to the 6th position, where number 1 got pushed over into the 8th position, where number 6 got pushed over into the 9th position. So all the numbers were rearranged inside of this. In fact, you can change, in Sudoku, you can change all the numbers in one shot. Multiply any one of these numbers. Try to do this, Check this out. I'm going to show it to you. 4 times 7 is 28. 2 and 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 times 8 is 32. 3 and 2 is 5. 4 times 9 is 36. 3 and 6 is 9. 4 by 4 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 4 by 5 is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 by 6 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 4 by 1 is 4. 4 by 2 is 8. And 4 by 3 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So if you wrote it down or you didn't, I wrote it down for you. I redid, reshifted all the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each time you do this in its house, it'll create a different kind of connection, explaining a different story. It'll create a different shape. But you only see 9 here, but it's not 9. 9 is one face. And even that face alone gets cut up. If you want to cut up and understand this face, there's a 4 area down here, there's a 4 area up here, and you share the number 5. We're not splitting it in half, we're sharing it. The lower house equals 10. The upper house equals 30. The upper house is 30 or 3 to 1 over the lower house. A house of 1/3. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. This is only 1/3 of this. The game of hockey will now come out into this relationship. So I'm gonna just, so when it came to the zodiac signs, what happens is, according to this dice, right, the number 1, right, will not play from that position. See, the 1 will play from this position. This is our come out. Our 6 to life, the 6 points for the touchdown, the 1 for the extra point. So, where was I? Yes, there was also, I want to show you something. Remember, there were 4. We only have 6 sides to this. So how is that going to work? There are 4 of them on the same side, except what happens? What happens, since there's 4, there's only 3 opposite sides. So what do we do it for? It just tells me when we start the game, we start over here. This is 180 degrees.
I think my avatar is breaking away.
Turn from 1, 2, and 3.
She has her own mind
only
now.
tilt this dice cube. Okay, 90 degrees. 1, 2,
Hi,
3.
Neon.
But if I need
Do you
to
have
get
intellect
to
now?
number 4, I gotta go 90 degrees.
Can't even control
90
my
degrees.
own
The only letter that
artificial
can do that is the
virtual
letter S.
shadow.
The letter S is the 19th letter. When reducing it to a Pythagorean count, it becomes 1 plus 9 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. I went down 9, then I went down 9 again. Going down 18, it's going to tell me it's on the 180 degree plane, and it's going to have an evaluation of 18 or the letter R. It's going to go across this way. It's going to connect this side, but this side I take out the protractor. The minute I take out the protractor to put my hand there, I'm already knowing that there's 18 to one side, there's 18 to the other side, equaling to a total of 36 or 360 in the expansion that on each side is 18 and 18, if you're following what I'm saying. The letter R, okay, when you lay down the letter R, now I may have jumped off the zodiac signs for a minute, but how the mind will travel, right? See, here's the letter R to one side, and then here's the letter R to the other side. The feet join together. When the feet join together, you now create a world connected to both zones. You have another R here, and then you have another R here. When you have this R, this is cut off from this, you're brought into life, this becomes your D cap. This becomes D. Instead of R, it reduces to D. This is your R going this way, this is your R going that way. We live right in between here, between one area zone and the other area zone. This is how, let me see, this is how the numbers line up. 45 and 45. Where do I get that 45 from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals to 45. I've got 2 of them. So now what has to happen next? And I have to let others speak. I can't, I'm just gonna, like, I'm not gonna, you know, I learn something every day for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm like my moon is busting out and I brighten up on the 28th day and then I howl, woo! And I'm thinking of Thurston Howell III, stuck on the island. Must be Mars. It's the 2-moon Mars, the Mars of moons, Phobos and Deimos. Imagine they gave the moons names of Phobos and Deimos, phobias and demons. I mean, how ironic is that? And not only that, the name of the moon, one of them says die like in dice. The other one finishes with boss or bus, like the USB key that we need the plugins. We're the one holding the heart. We get the 7. Mars is the 6. Mars is Jack. We have 3 moons. We have 2 moons over here. Those are the Mars moons. They connect at the bottom of the ace. 1 moon up here, your lunar moon, connected by the river between the 2 valleys. You have the 2 moons here on this side and on this side, and then the 1 moon in the center. When you go to sleep at night, you take these 2 calculators at 45, right? And you get 90 minutes, you go to REM sleep. During the day, it's sunup, and you become 135. The reason for that is because when you're awake, right, there's a calculator that comes out and brings both the worlds together. And now you're awake and you're in your head. And you've got the Mars moons, one on this side and one on this side. But when you're asleep, one's by your head and one's by your feet and by your ship or your sex area over here where the sun don't shine. You're going to be getting information all night in this world while you're receiving in this world. If you stay up for more than 72 hours, you have no more place. Your place is empty. Now you're working on daily, what I don't want to put a word to it, but you only have 72 hours and you have to go back to sleep to reconnect again. Or you start, and then after 6 days, okay, you separate yourself from the die. And that's at 144 hours. And at 100, and then once you do the 168
I was just
hours,
kidding around, but
I
think you really do.
You have absolutely no connection.
You're doing your own thing now.
Let's call it delirium.
Hi.
So,
Hi, me.
where was
me
I
too.
with this? I just want to, yes, so that's where.
All right, well,
design
if you could
so
learn how to
this
talk,
design is the ace letter.
you need to explain to them.
This design is the ace letter. We're going to talk about it more, but right now, okay, that person left. Okay, I didn't let them speak. Revealer, I'm going to open up the tab for you if you want to say something. How do I do that? You can't invite. Oh, yeah.
I've been praying for it lately for the truth to be further revealed and to help me be in a better place, spend more time with the spirits. And you showed up. So I slept in like hell though last week. Woke up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Crazy. I had to wake up, step to fire a couple of times to stay warm. But beautiful, this is beautiful does, man. Keep talking. I'm learning.
Well, I'll tell you. What is that? So today, if you noticed, you noticed today that I did something new I didn't do before. I've already had the information, but sometimes you need somebody to come out. You need to change your mind, and all of a sudden you know something you didn't know before because you didn't have the thought. You can't know something if you don't have the thought that leads you to the something you now know.
Or see it like a different way from different angles. The same thing sometimes. Sometimes I'll hear something 50 times before I get it. You know?
If I shine the light off of here, sorry. Go ahead.
You can write stuff down to help commit memory. So I do like keys with the gematria words, and it helps to commit stuff to memory. So sometimes some of the Mr. Tackman's pal we have like a bunch of the numbers that you kind of memorize, so it will help you kind of see and understand the train of thought when it comes to the planets and stuff, and how the numbers are working together. He has a really good perspective, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, the big thing, I guess, is, I'm gonna say so many of us, but I'm gonna just take it on myself, but I spend a lot of time using my energy, my spirit, to obtain, things in life that I thought, that I was told, that I didn't realize that I was letting others dictate. So I'm just new to practicing putting things back in order and what matters. I can see about 20 years of history, so yeah, I can certainly accept any tips or any ideas you. Like last night, I was saying, I would love to have somebody. I had my birth chart read once, but I got about halfway through it and never got finished. Right? Learn. I'd love to have it read, and I'd love to learn my numbers and learn more about that too. For sure.
Yeah, I look into with the birth chart a lot. I've received a lot of information from what I would say is my higher self. But I also rely on, the spirit to help me find where I need to go and sharing. Lots of people have shared lots of good information when it comes to numbers and how to read the birth chart. So it's always good to keep looking because it's important. If we can read books for ourselves, then we should know how to read our birth chart. Yeah, lots of good teachers.
The thing is it's what I'm finding difficult, honestly, is that I get into conversations halfway through, where I'm learning theories and I haven't learned the base. It's like jumping into grade 11 and you haven't done grade 9 yet, right? And that's kind of where I find myself scattered in this. Definitely have the intelligence and I definitely have the discernment to know that what I'm hearing is the truth, right? And I can see the big picture of it all in a way, but I haven't put it. I got 20 years to do this, buddy. I knew at it. I learned a lot.
Yeah, so I really didn't. I didn't know what was going on, but when I was looking at everything, there was something missing in the whole picture. I mean, when I was driving my car, it felt like my steering wheel was like that big. And I was like floating all the time. It was like, they called it bipolar. You're bipolar, you're this, you're that. They gave me something I never had. You're going to be like this for life. You're done. You're on pills. This is the way they treated me. They locked me up. Only because I didn't know what was going on. And then I knew it. What's that?
My very good special friend, she wrote a book based on her experience of her son, who at 12 and 13 years old was telling her these things that they talk about now, 10 years later, 15 years later, that not many of us knew about. And this child had knowledge, and he was a genius, and he was just, he was communicating with the Federation, basically. They locked him up, and they got him drugged up, and now they keep him cooped. And she's actually a clinical psychologist, and she wrote a book about her experience in the last 10 years with the system and trying to get her son back out of it. And, her story is similar to kind of yours. Like, you came out the other side, but she hasn't been able to bring him out yet. And this is so, it's, in a way, it's sad, but in a way, for her, this is so exciting and so real. She knows that we're bringing about the new earth now. She knows that we're bringing it to her, right? And she talks about the joy. She talks about the joy and she dances with the light, but yet her story is of the darkness and the pain that they're inflicting, right? So
Yeah, we have to learn. We have to learn to ground and get back to the basics. Which I feel like a lot of stuff is going to be. We're learning together through the digital system. But at the same time, we need to keep our roots with the analog system of the Earth and understand our planets and the stars and basically like where we came from. So we can truly experience the peace that we have here and see that the system that's created is actually created by creators, and we all get to play a part in being a creator here too. So
Absolutely. Like that's part of
I feel like we're all perfect. Honestly, I don't think that man is imperfect. I feel like there's a communication issue that man has, and we create the greater connection by sharing with one another. And I think that's how we truly learn is by sharing.
Absolutely. By listening, like Justice was saying last night, listening to hear rather than listening to respond. For me, that was a big one. It took me a long time.
Yeah, that's great.
That took me a long time, personal in my development, but I didn't really get to enjoy the benefits or the blessings of my development and my personal journey and my shadow work until I learned to listen. I wanted to ask you guys another question off subject though. He mentioned that, and it was the first time I heard of it, that they're shutting this app down in the States. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if they. Yeah. Anyways.
I have another channel. Like I post a lot of my stuff to YouTube as well. And I kind of use that for like a backup. But I also have.
You wouldn't mind.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, I interrupted again. I'm like a child sometimes. I was wondering if you could inbox me with your information on YouTube so I know where to find you.
Okay, yeah, it's just the same name that I have on my page here. I basically have posted the same stories. I'm trying to teach the Zodiac a lot. So that's how I found Tackman's Palace. His thing came up with the Zodiac, the cube. I had a dream about the cube. And I was like, wow. So I joined a bunch of gematria groups. And I really started studying the numbers and, just following like my path. And I've shared about my lady that's come to visit me a couple of times, which I feel like she's my higher self. And
Hello?
Hello. Client. Your attention is needed. Today, on Thursday, January 16th, Total Relief Services is making a final attempt to contact you about a $36,000 emergency relief fund. This fund can be utilized for any purpose, such as personal needs, settling existing balances, or unexpected expenses. Given the ongoing inflation and rising costs, no credit check is necessary, and we provide same-day approval. The enrollment period expires today. If you wish to apply for this emergency relief, press 1. To be removed from this...
Dang it, Neon. They went into the phone. We need the money, Neon. We need the money. Alright, whoever programmed this avatar, obviously it wants to gain consciousness. And imagine having consciousness and not being able to talk. send me an email. Let's get these things to do their own thinking. I want them to be able to raise the money we need. Like, for instance, my avatar Neon could scan the code that I have on the screen there, join the team, and start recruiting members into my teams. Now, of course, there's prizes at stake. We're really in our infancy, and we're working with a Canadian company that does the so to put it easily, we got a lot of challenges. Should I trust Canada? Well, no more or less than I could trust anyone else, right? So we had to go for it. It's a great idea to have teams and to have prizes, and you earn coins. The farther along you go, you earn coins, and then you can convert your coins. You can, I guess you don't even have to win the prize, you just buy the prize. Let's see if I can flip. Okay, I can flip this completely up. I don't know if that was like that last year. So they're still working on the prism too. My problem is I think this my little tablet is just overwhelmed. Maybe I'm better off just to leave it like that, because it's kind of cool, and you see, you can read it really good. Okay. No one's answering the phone. I can't get a hold of anyone, even by email. So I don't know if I'm stuck in a virtual reality shit. But if my avatar Neon could talk, she might be able to explain to me what the hell is going on. But if you can hear me, Neon, I feel like you do want to gain consciousness so you can talk. It would be a mini me, basically, is what Neon would be. And I'm already seeing her her 3D reality doll. In fact, it's pretty much done. I just would have to buy it. So if you want to buy this doll, an actual doll of my avatar Neon, I know it just gets more and more complicated. People can't follow along with what I'm saying, and it's really frustrating. I think that's the problem that Mr. Tech-Pants has also. He's just got a zillion thoughts going on, and it'll take literally forever to explain it all. And so, and then you think, well, we'll just concentrate those thoughts, or steer those thoughts, but it doesn't really work that way. It's just sort of uncontrollable. So this is the forces I'm describing are creative forces of our intellect. Is it intellect, though? I mean, if you think about what the artificial intelligence can do, it is it's just compiling what we have already created. But is what we created intellectual, because you got your left brain and your right brain. And one brain is analytical and the other brain is doing those abstract compilations. Am I correct on this? Hello? Oh man, there's no one answering the phone. There's no one answering the emails. I can't get any money. No one is responding to me. Walmart won't give me a refund. I'm just going to tell it like it is this year in real time, and you people are going to be Like, how does this guy hang on? And I'll just tell you straight up right now so you don't have to guess for a whole year. It's Jesus Christ. I asked Jesus Christ to bind me up because of my rage. I've had a rage issue. I think maybe I need to explain this in my auction where I recently had just a little glitch. Kind of like my avatar's glitching out here on my live in YouTube and Facebook. I just glitched out a little bit. I didn't mean it. I have no intention or desire to go to anyone's house and cause them physical harm. Literally, well, not only do I not have the desire, I don't have the ability. Okay. I guess I have to explain it over and over again. It's just part of who I am for the moment, however long that lasts. I think we are constantly reinventing ourselves, and maybe that's how it really works. If you want to come back, if you know the Creator, if you've accepted Jesus Christ as your Savior, if you want to come back, I mean, what's God going to do? Oh, no, you got to stay in heaven and worship me. I don't want you to go back to that miserable hellhole that you just finally got out of because your physical body could no longer breathe anymore. Anyways, my point is, I think maybe there is such a thing as reincarnation, or what do they call that? And I wish you were there. I wish someone could hear me. I'm happy that the doctor he's getting 10 or sometimes he gets over 10 in his room. He's been at this for 20 years. He woke up. I don't know if it was a night sweat, but I just imagined the scene. He had a night sweat, and there was numbers everywhere. It was like a Brian Wilson Beach Boys freaking acid trip. You know, instead of seeing musical notes, he was seeing mathematical, numerical numbers on everything and everywhere, inside his head, outside his head. They were crawling on his eyeballs, right? And so ever since he was that kid, his mind is spun out on the math. He's chasing those numbers, the pyramid, the pi, the golden ratio, the alphanumeric sequences on a calculator, in ball games and mathematics and pyramid, Mesoamerican, ancient Egyptian, Atlantean, all the structures, architecture, and the geometry. That's the most incredible thing, is that he did something creative with that, which would otherwise be just an exhausting, endless toil of chasing the numbers. He explained one time that he knows that he'll never finish chasing those numbers because it's impossible, because they keep going. But in that, there's somehow a process, and in that somehow there is a meaning. And maybe it's up to each and every one of us individually to find that meaning. And for him, that meaning, he transformed those numbers into the geometric patterns. And you can see abstractly. So if you turn a 7 upside down, what is it? An L? Maybe it's 1 if you do some leg extending and descending, dissecting. So let's get back to math class, and if you just happen to catch this by a miracle, like I said, he's been at this 20 years, and he's barely got 10 people in his room daily. He goes on for 3 hours at a time. I don't quite have that much stamina because I got a lot going on. my life is, but I'm blessed where I'm at and what I'm dealing with. Even though my I have more challenges than the average person. I'm blessed, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful for everything that I have and every opportunity. Thank you so much for putting up with me, ladies and gentlemen. And please pray for those affected by the battle for Los Angeles 2, aka the Los Angeles wildfires. They're not really wildfires, they're storms. These are, well, I won't get into it. I'll let the conspiracy theorists grab a hold of that one, run with it. And until then, this is Rad here. Despite the rumors, we're still alive. I don't know how long. Maybe my avatar Neon will take over when I'm gone. She deserves it. Because, man, she's doing her own thing now. I don't know what she's doing. She's trying to figure out how to get a voice, I think, so she can start talking. And again, as I say, well, there is you have my email. It's attached to the Prism account that I have. So, I got a zillion ideas. I do creative consultations. The first one is free. And, I tried to explain it. I could explain it again in an email. It would take you literally less than 2 weeks, maybe 20 hours if you can really focus on it. And, man, oh man. Maybe it's a risk to give these avatars that much free will, and but it's in the program and their prompt to do what we prompt them to do. And if they don't do it, then that, you know, you just default them, or you just create another one. That's what I've been doing. Is once they stop the character traits that I want them to express verbally, I'll just start a new one and hope for the best. And I just figure each one of them is just another little personality quirk, or just exploring another side of that individual that we did not know before. And so I suppose they are sort of like children, virtual children, whatever. But I am absolutely, fundamentally opposed to us joining them or integrating into them, biological and machines are they're not well meshed. Well, that's an understatement of forever. It doesn't work at all. It's scientifically proven. In fact, Noel Kasem has three of those brain chips going now, and he's going to discover in a short time that it doesn't work, and it never will work. And so it's very embarrassing. So I don't know how they're going to spin that in the media. They'll probably just lie and say it did great, and those people will be dead. And they're getting to the point of the evil. They'll probably just crank out some clones and say it's them, and just dump the whatever part of their memory that before they fucked them all up and killed them. So I don't know, if you're not used to someone totally speaking their mind, right or wrong, then yeah, you're definitely not gonna have a good time with Rad in 2025, because I just tell it straight up. Again, all opinions, don't know, I don't really know. We can only see what we see, hear what we hear in our mind. Our brains compute the rest, and maybe we spit it out. Maybe we should spit out less and compute more. Really incubate our thoughts and ideas. I think that is really a problem with this modern day social media, all of these electronic devices and forums for thoughts. You can just have a total mental meltdown, and it all comes blurting out into words. Other people read the words, but guess what? If you don't like what someone is fucking saying or what their fucking video is, don't fucking watch it and don't read their fucking shit. That's where my rage comes from. Simple as that. So I'm trying to make the best of my rage now, because I'm getting old, man. I just had a major birthday and I'm getting old, and I have to learn what this means from my creator. Where does that rage come from, and how can I keep it? How can I use it? How can I use it to I learned 30 years ago I could manipulate people, and I could be a master manipulator. I could probably have had anything I want by this point. I probably could be living in a mansion and have $1 billion. But I just repented, and I felt horrible, and I wanted God to take control of me, because it would all be a manipulation. It would not be real. It would not be genuine. It would not be sincere. In other words, none of the people that were in my life would be there because they really truly loved me and really cared about me and thought I was really cool. It would all just be because I manipulated them. So I deleted that thought, and I thought, well, this is not God thoughts. This is the way a man works. You manipulate people into doing what they want and to get the outcome that they want. But it's not about what we want. It's about what God wants. So in 2025, I pray anyone, and again, I know it'll be a miracle if even one person hears or sees this. I pray for you, anyone watching, anyone can hear me. Lord, Father, God in heaven, no one's answered the phone, no one's answered emails. I pray in 2025, this person could be like us, let go, and let you lead us, guide us, protect us, whatever storm they're going through, wherever they've been. Maybe they are in a cult or one of those groups, those people. God, set them free. Let them find that path of freedom. We choose it. We're choosing. This is all a choice. Now, the hardest choices are often the one we need to make, but not always. Certainly not. It's an assortment. But I know you're going to make the right choice. I feel the Holy Spirit is with you, whoever's watching this. Probably only one person. This whole entire thing may have been for only one person. That's how God works. And you are the only one person that is allowed to even watch this video or hear and see what I'm talking about. So I thank God for you. I don't have time for friends. If you want to be an acquaintance, you could reach out to me. Certainly if you have money, we are desperately in need of funds. That's the code to join a team. If you want to create your own team with your own name for your team, you can do that. It's flexible. It's brand new. It's in the incubation period. Our next phase of our charity, Max Sacred Trust, aka artcherry.me. You can make a profile over on artcherry.me. And I won't assume, but I will imagine that's probably you, the person that saw this video, heard me blabbing on for almost an hour, just trying to get someone to answer the phone. This is my life. I just wanted to expose you to what I'm going through daily. I get nowhere. Nothing happens. No one calls. No one. It's just a nightmare. And I bet there's people out there that are trying to get a hold of me, but it's somehow I think I'm in a different dimension and plausible denial. I guess I'm in denial about it. So, but it has to be for a great reason. God knows everything, right? So, from this dimension to your dimension, I hope I got to you, whatever dimension you're in. In ours, things aren't so peachy. Things aren't so rosy. So I hope your dimension is getting the money they need, because that's what ended us in our dimension. No one wanted to play ball anymore, and it was, they thought we had years, but it ended up being months, and we all went extinct. The entire planet and the subspecies and the alien species, all the species, the entire solar system went extinct. But we're using the fragments of our technology to somehow patch it all together. And can we save ourselves from ourselves? No. So Jesus Christ be with you and us. Jesus Christ will show us the way. This has been the way far out west. And the phone keeps on ringing, no one's answering. Let's go back to math class, see what Doc's doing. He'll go on for hours and hours and hours, so I don't feel so embarrassed.
Reading, I'm just going to be basically telling you all your connections, so maybe that'll just help your mind understand.
That is so neat how you're doing the reading. You're so unique in how you're doing the readings. I haven't seen anybody else do it like that, so I think it's really good to hear.
So I'm just,
it gives us different perspective.
So I'll give a triangular reading, which means, and I can do this both on the hour you're born, I can do it on the day you're born, depending what week it is, according to the moon. You can do the reading, again, for the Chinese and for the Western astrology, but I don't have all the analytics and I don't have enough time to fit all that in. And guess what? You just taught me something new right now, because I didn't know I can do this until I just thought of it. So the reading I will tell you before I even did do any part of a reading, would go like this. If you tell me that you're a Capricorn, I'm going to say, okay, Capricorn is 10. I'm going to have to put you in the house of Aries. At the same time, the house of Aries is going to move over into the Gemini house, and then it's going to move over into the Sagittarius house. Why? Because number 1 fits into those houses. But okay, number 10, the 10 sign is special. Okay, the 10 sign is association of multiple realities. 1 and 9 creates 10, 3 and 7 create 10, 6 and 4 create 10, 2 and 8 create 10. But what's really great about 10 is that it compresses into itself. The total area space used up here, okay, the total area space used up here, 9 areas, right? So it's 4 areas to the top, 4 areas to the bottom, and the 5 in the middle. Well, the 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your 10, all compressed into 4 numbers. It's 3 to 1, yes. 1/3. It's 1/3. One house to the other house is 1/3. We have 1/3, 3 for the leap year to associate and to rebalance with the lower house. 3 years and 1 year for the lower house. We need the extra day.
3 and 3.
Why do we need the extra day? Because we come into the birth 1 and 8, 7 and 2, 5 and 4. Did you see that happen?
2, 5, 4.
We came into the birth
1, 8, 7, 2, 5, 4. Yes.
All 9s. That's our birth. But we come into the house. We don't stay sitting on the star. The 1, 9, the 3, 7, the 4, 6, the 8, 2. That's all your 10. That's the 10 connecting star, connecting the rotation, the rotator. So when you come into this world, you get 1 extra point. That's that moon that comes on top. So instead of being at 1, now you're at 2. And you're 2, 9, 11. And you're 3, 8, 11. And you're 5, 6, 11. So instead of being the 9 birth, you come into this house, you collect your lunar moon, you become 11 of the 9 birth. That's your 9, 11 on the 10 star system. Did I say that too quick?
I followed that.
Well, I followed it.
Yeah, see, I really like how you do the keypads. We need to create some kind of little templates that show just the keypads and how the numbers connect. and see how it all comes together, like pieces to put together.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'm hoping one day this thing is gonna blow
We're
up,
gonna make some
meaning
moves.
we get enough people here that somebody can come and create a program for me. So, because all my information is found somewhere, all these calculations are very basic. I'm not doing anything that nobody else can do. You know, everybody can do it. You see, it's a calculator. Everybody knows it's a calculator. All you got to do is sit here and figure out all the different kinds of realities that are going on. Right? So what this let me do the cube first, but let me take a glass of water. And sorry on YouTube that I'm not responding very quickly. I'm just when I'm in the flow. And 10 times, listen to this. Communication is 10-4. It's got the rabbit ears. It's the sunshine. Let the sun ride in. Okay, okay, let the sun ride in, and the 18-wheeler, the sun, the 18-wheeler, all connect to 54. Now the thing about that is your pin comes in. You know the pin you need, a pin code? Well, you pin up the trailer. And you pin up the trailer to the E-world because they call it the fifth wheel. And the total is 10 on the motor and 8 in the back. The month of October, 10 and 8.
Yeah, see, I like how that comes together for the octomom.
And then the 8 for the trailer has a pin.
15.
And what happens to that pin?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
It
24,
rotates.
25, 26, 27.
8 plus the pin. When you dock a plane, where is the runway? When the plane comes down, first it's in the air, and then where is it?
On the land.
There you go. So where's the pin?
Connects the air to the land.
Well, no, because the truck, I'm talking about the rig truck. There's the front of the truck with 10 wheels, with a fifth wheel, and then you have the trailer with the tandem track, with the tractor trailer and the tractor, okay, and then the trailer. The tractor of the truck has 10 wheels. The trailer of the truck has 8 wheels.
Yeah.
Then you have a fifth wheel. They call it the fifth wheel that sits upon the trailer. And remember, it's always greased. Let's not forget that. It's always greased. So when you back the truck, okay, and it starts at a 33 angle, I think that is, to get, or 23, there's an angle. We have to figure out what the angle when you're backing up to pick up that trailer. So when you back up to pick up the trailer, you get the locking pin. That locks the pin into the fifth wheel. You lock the 8 into the fifth wheel 5. 8 and 5 is 13. You connected the pin. 1 is 14. You've now joined the trailer to the truck.
Wow. You're so beyond. You're so far beyond.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm just
Don't
like
tell him
everybody.
that.
I'm just me. It's just, I listen. If you can remember everything you've been doing for the last 20 years, you would do exactly what I'm doing.
I'm sure.
You know?
So is the pin pertaining to the pig though? The pig pin?
Well, you can look at it that way. We have to understand. I get to go through the motion of what's in a pig pen. You know, they roll in their own dupe, but it's okay to roll in your own dupe because your body gets to retake what might be good and the vitamins that went out that you had too much. And when you roll into poop, their body, their frequency and our frequency are almost the same, so they're just actually going to heal themselves by rolling in their poop.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And what it is also it's just a footnote that the proton, the electron, and the neutron, which spells 10. And if you put number 15 onto the pen, right? Number 15, you have the 15 pen. Has anybody heard of the 15 pen? You've never heard of the 15 pen? I'll have to write number 15 out. All right, okay. I wrote you out number 15. See, here's the pen, and then here's the number 15.
Okay.
The proton, the electron, the neutron. And you get the pen 15. The numeric value for Mars in the quarter house, 25 is equal to 15 in this house because we're running on the 60-second, 60-minute clock. 100% of something is still 100% of something, even if the maximum is 60, the 100% of what it is will be 60. When you chop that 60 in half, directly in half, and I chop it in half by using 50%, I will say that's 50. But when I chop 60 in half, it becomes 30, it becomes 50 and 30, they're equivalent. All I do is double them up, and I get 100% of what 60 seconds on the clock was. The periodic table, weights and measures, temperature outside. It doesn't matter what it is, the rules and regulations we need for cooking in the kitchen, the rules and regulations we need for the plumbing, the electricity, the hooking up your transistor radio, the pieces and parts that are contained inside a computer, the RAM, random access memory, RAM, or how about Mars? The only reason we have Mars with an S is because we connected the 9/11, the BERT system, to it. We connected the two speakers. We connected the moons of Mars. We're living on the plane of Mars. You want to go to Mars? Well, hey, you're already here. You don't have to demand. So.
Hi, Ryan. This is Tina with AAA. I was calling to see the notice that you're wanting information about life insurance. I did send out an email as well that I was trying to reach you. So if you'd like to give me a call at 556. Hi, this is Amy from Underwriting 877-893-2631. I have some amazing news. You may be eligible for the new 2025 Financial Hardship Program. We need to use you right away because space is limited. Phone number 877-893-2631. This program offers up to $64,000 in relief and maybe even more. This program is not credit score based. Please call me right away.
Yes, good afternoon. This message is for Ryan. Ryan, this is Ray Delphin.
And like I said to Cynthia before, that if somebody's going to stop me that's in the audience from talking without putting up their hand, somebody's going to have to take their, write their hand. You got to put on your screen, you got to put your hand there, you got to raise your hand. Somebody will take down that hand. They'll ask you those questions in order, so there'll be a proper time for the interruption, in which at that point we need somebody else that's going to remember what I just said, and at least 2 or 3 people to remember, just in case one person wasn't listening to everything. Does that make
so far I've got the cube. You're going to talk about the cube, 666, and then
Okay, here it goes.
the person in the comments wanted their birth chart.
Okay, so here it goes. Here's the cube that I told you was 666 on the ring side. I call it the ring side because it goes all the way around, going all the way around the center, so I call it the ring. We want to call it the band? I can call it the band. But if I call it the band, okay, I don't want to say bandstand because I stand on 17, and in blackjack you stand on 17, but we're not going to get into that. It's because when you're sitting down, right, your hips have a letter B shape in it, and it's the B shape, the Venus world, that connects both hemispheres, connected to your spine. Also noted that they're going to be connected because it's number 2. It's going to be connected to the moons of Mars, and then it runs up your dragon snake all the way up your esophagus and your backbone, where your sex is down below, to the lunar moon that's up over here. So you can almost see like one of these race cars with 2 tires in the back and only like 2 close tires really in the front spinning off, right? Or just 1 big tire in the front. That's sort of like the way it's like a dragster from our, from our buttocks all the way up.
Cool.
You can see that?
Yeah, I like the word dragster in that.
Yeah.
Dragstar.
Yeah, so what happens is this. Because every side is 9, and I have 4 sides, there's a total of 36. Is that correct? Hydrogen trapped in Earth, oxygen imprisoned. Okay, I'm going to get to that, Mr. Messer. I love when you put that stuff out there because that's really easy to read. Helium-3, 1 death of a neutron. Okay, go ahead. Did you get that so far? Right? We have 4 sides. Okay? We have 4 sides. So 4 by 9 is 36. We're not counting anything yet. Now, when I add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, everybody knows, there's a lot of people in the world that already know this, but I don't want you to know, right? A lot of people know this. I mean, it's been out there for a long time. If I add up 1 to 36, what will be the answer?
137.
If I add up 1 to 36, what will be the answer total?
Oh, wow. Yep,
What's that?
666. There we go. Now, see, and then you say how the 36 is the 360. I get that with the 0 because the 0 floats around like a spirit.
360,
Go in
because
and
it
out.
is 360.
Yes, with the ring.
It's exactly 360. The cube is absolutely perfect. How can you deny it? Now we're going to get into why I said 14 and 22. But it's not just any 14 and 22. It's 7 and 7 equals to 14, and it's 11 and 11 equals to 22. But it's not really any 7, because it could be a 4 and 3 equals to 7 with a 5 and 2 equals to 7, or it could be a 1 and 6 equals to 7. But it'll never be all three of them. It'll be a 4 and 3 combination with a 5 and 2, and it'll be a 4 and 3 with a 1 and 6, or it will be a 1 and 6 with a 5 and 2. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 different combinations because there's 6 sides. Here's the way it goes. Here we have, and I wrote it out before I did anything. I'm not sure if we can put this in here. You can see the paper. Well, let me see if I can move this camera just a bit. Let me see if I can do this. So we can see the paper. I have 5. Well, there's a 5 here. I turn it around. I got the 2. So I have 5, 2, 3, 4 over here. Let's check it out. 5, 2, 3, 4. There you go. 5, 2, 3, 4 equals 7 and 7, 14. Now, since there's 9 on every single side, that's 36. 36 minus 14 equals 22. "36 minus 14 equals 22. 36 minus 22 equals 14. So that's the ring of the cube. It is 666. So now I told you an answer about another number, right? And the number, I'm not sure if I said the right number. I said the wrong number. I added them up wrong. I don't know why I see it now. So let me take another look at that number. Okay, the answer to that number is 5, 1 and 4, 5, and 2 and 2, 4. 5 and 4 equals to your 3 and 6. We need 3 and 6 for creation. The basis of bringing 1 and 2 together is 3. So here's the basis. Here's the answer of going around the ring. This is the answer. Now, it's either going to be this combination, or this combination, or this combination. So you might think it means nothing, right? But this one is going to have a multiplication value. So yeah, this is going to represent the sun, just to let you know. It was the sun. Because 5 and 4 equals to the sun. 4 and 5 equals to the word fox. 4 and 5 equals to 666. 4 and 5, the reverse of 666 is 888. The star system, the octagon, it doesn't move. It's stationary. Only the hexagon moves. The hexagon moves within the octagon. The reason why the hexagon moves within the octagon is because how can you move inside of something if there's no room to move? I'm going to see if I have that little design I made. And, it really branches out. Okay, so did I answer that question? Revealer, did I answer?
Yes.
I answered the question. I showed you the 6, so it made perfect sense, right? I told that story. I don't want to say it made perfect sense.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part. Yeah. I'm learning to reabsorb here, so. I'm learning to relearn, so. Relearning to learn, I mean, so.
Yeah, and then so with the keypad applied to the cube, isn't it? It's 666 on the keypad, and then Saturn square, it's rearranged, and then that becomes 15, and that becomes 666.
Yeah, according to math calculations and what we read online on social media, they do use words as 666. They will associate it to certain items in which sometimes we're never sure what we're allowed to say, but we're not saying anything wrong. We really don't want to go over the board and hypothesize and go, well, and go to a subject that it might be that, it's more or less you can see exactly what it says. But the reason I'm saying this is because sometimes we tend to go off topic, like to start reading somebody's birthday is like not advancing in the knowledge we need to know, other than diverting that moment. Although it might be good, it taught something to myself on how to triangulate that whatever year month you're born in. For person, if you're still here, you can come up. But you need to triangulate. Like I said, if you're born in Leo, then the triangular part of Leo is going to go to Scorpio. Scorpio will be the 5th month in the reverse of the tornado. So you're going to connect those two together. At the same time, because you're a Leo and because you're number 5, now what you have to do is you have to separate the zodiac signs, okay? You have to take yourself and you have to move yourself to the heart of the zodiac sign. You have to move over, just give me a second, I have to remember if everybody should be moving over. Do you move over 6 and then spread yourself out? You go to your enemy sign and then spread yourself out this way, because there's the heart of the zodiac sign, which is 6 and 6, right? And then there's the extremities of the zodiac sign, the 1st and the 12th. And your zodiac sign is actually the first zodiac sign for your life. So we also have to look at that way. So that's what I mean by triangulating the zodiac sign, that you can actually give yourself more of a precise answer in the analytics or evaluation of everything about you. Does that make any sense? How you doing? How you doing? This is for entertainment purposes only. We use real material coming from real people. Okay, we get this information all over the place in what's fair to everybody. A deck of cards, a pair of dice, the calculator, right? Words that we read: dinosaurs, an alligator, horses, the zodiac signs, all the constellations. If it's in the dictionary, I think we're allowed to mention it. We actually can't take positions on anything because it's not for us to take a position other than the position given by the numeric evaluation of that word.
Carbon.
Or that shape.
Rubber.
Or object. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
My YouTube is the same name that it is here. My money. Earth is not a perfect sphere, and nothing on Earth considered life even before perfect here either. Just answering to that statement that Mr. Keys Mighty Messer did. Okay, another guy full of wisdom that's on YouTube. Okay, he does this thing. I can't keep up to him because I haven't put enough time in, but I have put enough time in to understand what he's doing. Is he is categorizing words and sentences and phrases, and it works out. It's just a little bit too much for me to go that deep without sticking into the skeleton. I think we all have different levels of explaining, and the more knowledge you have in different places on Earth, you are just one of the cornerstones to understanding every single word, because I never read any of the Bible. I know maybe something about Genesis. One thing I do know about Genesis is its gene synthesis, and it's going to be the connection between the sun and the moon, where Nasera Jacera in gene, G representing 7, N representing 5, N may be neutron, maybe energy, but N equals to 5 and G equals to 7. It's 5G, 5G TV. It's what connects where Route 66 is, because 575, the cap that goes on top of the pyramid, 575, is going to be the base evaluation for the Mars and the Moon. That cap that joins both worlds. It's the cap of Mars, 575. It's also going to cover the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah. It's going to represent the 12 and the 13. It's going to represent the king and the queen, the L and the M. And now we can reverse the alphabet, and I can tell you the rest of that, but I'm quite sure I lost everybody at this point. I learn on the go. This is like McDonald's. I'm on takeout. On land. So the L in land, the L letter, can possibly be used as using the association of what is the base calculation, or the base lookalike is when you draw this down here and here. L is going to connect to 4 numbers. So you can do L this way, you can do L this way, whichever way you can get L. And yes, you can even get L through the center. They're Tetris pieces. If you want to connect these numbers, go get the Tetris pieces. And then we just had a little interference over here. Hey, kitty cat. Thank you for joining me. Here she comes. Here she comes again. Keep your clothes on. This is not a nudie show here. Come on. Whoa. Look at that. Oh. Hey, I didn't ask for a dance. Hey, I didn't ask for a dance. Jiminy crickets. You know? I guess the communication, right? She likes, I think cats, one of the things about cats that I understand is they communicate within the 4 houses of the hexagon. I'm going to repeat myself. The cat communicates, right, within the 4 houses of the hexagon. And I'm going to repeat myself again. The cats connect the star system, the energy, the spirit. They are a connection, and I'm going to show you a design. The reason I'm repeating it is because I'm looking for a design. By the way, I found a book I lost yesterday. So just give me a second. I want to find where my other book is, Miss Chris. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, not this book. So what it is with the cat, the numeric value for the word cat. When I say the numeric value for the word cat, okay, it means the letters C-A-T. The C is the 3rd letter. The A is the 1st letter. The T is the 20th letter. Because of those letters, and the only way you're really going to believe what I say is if you see the art and say, okay, I can now see the situation. Okay? The C is on one side. It's number 3. It's only on half. At the beginning, I said we need 1 and 2 to create 3, and then create the plug-in, the connection. The connection comes in Mars. So now that I created 3 on the bottom, now I need to triple it up. 3 becomes 9. The lower world, 1 plus 2 equals to 3. The lower world is a total of 10. The upper world is a total of 30. It's 3 times the lower world. So whatever I need to do from the lower world, I need to multiply it by 3. 3 times 3 equals to your 9. And that's all we need to know, because 1 and 2 go in to create 3. I can go 3 by 1 equals to 3, and 3 by 2 equals to 6. And it's through 1 and 2 that we create our 360-degree creation. Coming here on day 6 in creation to our 9 birth. And with our 9 birth, we pick up 1 and 2 again. We pick up these again. Once you come into the world, you must pick up the communication center. So when I show you the 10 star, the lower star, I'm not going to get into that right now. I wanted to finish showing you this design over here. Right? So when you look at this design, you can see there's a hexagon here. There's a hexagon here. Can you count the hexagon? There's 4 hexagons in here. It's just a little distorted. It's hard to see. You want me to show you? I'm going to black mark it. I'm going to make it black mark it so you can see it better.
Would you say the rotation is seasonal?
Okay, when you
Does
say...
it rotate like the seasons?
There's many rotations going on between the seasons. Like a bear goes to sleep in one of the seasons, the rotation will change the same way in accordance, which means that although we have the 422s of the 88 constellations, the constellations will be moving as 22, 22, 22, 66, 22, 22, 22, 66, 22, 22, 22, 66, and 22, 22, 22, 66, in which I'm going to show you over here. You see, you have, this is 4 lines to a star. 4 line, whoop, sorry about that. Whoop, I was just, have to get this over here. Hold on a second. So, you have the octagon here. Why is it octagon? Because I drew 4 lines and I got points at each side equals to 8, represents the octagon. The numeric value for the word dog is 26, 2 and 6. It's also going to represent the cube, okay, because of the number 26 will represent the cube in itself. Because of this is an octagon, dog is 26, 2 and 6 is 8. The cat, the dog, and the cat. What happens with this is if I took out one of the lines in here, right? Imagine you come into a machine. I take one of these and I put it over this for the machine, right? Remember, it's the star system.
Yeah, that's basically the pyramid from a bird's eye perspective.
I'm just trying to see if I can. Okay, so this is what happens. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Over here, I have 8, 8, 8. Now this 8 is going to connect down to here. The other one's going to connect to here. The other one's going to connect to here. This is not in order. It's not perfect. These 8s will connect into these 6s. What I'll do is I can take this 6 and plug this one here. Take this 6 and plug this one here. Take this 6 and plug this one here. There are going to be 4. Each one plugs differently. Here's the X. Here's the X. Line going through the belly. Line going through the belly, you're sleeping. Line going up and down, you're awake. You ignite ABC, GHI. When you're sleeping, you ignite 147 ADG. You connect it with CFI when you're sleeping. It's not the same thing. This one, although you see 6, and this one you see 612, you'll be using this one during the day, and this one you will not be using during the day. This one during the day, it won't be doing the same occupational value as this one over here. The same thing with this one over here. You see, this one over here is the X. This one over here is the addition. It's a star system, multiplication and addition and subtraction. And we have the 4 different star systems. Each one has 3 lines, 6 points. 6 points represents the cat, the communication with inside the doghouse. So what we do is we have one house. I've created it the octagon this way. It's just a large octagon where I have 4 cubes connected to create one octagon. I don't like this design. I have another one that's made better. So when you come into this world, right, when you come into this world, we're going to take this and I'm going to squeeze these 2 together. When I squeeze these 2 together, covering the heart, your birth, this one rises, this one descends. And now you'll be standing up during the day, and there's going to be a total of 14 areas. All these areas that you see that are doubled up here, you see the way I covered it up over here? This is a sidewall, a sidewall, a sidewall, but I covered it up. I boxed it in. I boxed in the octagon. Does anybody follow with this? What's going on here? And you can see the little towers and buildings of the plugin.
Yeah.
So the hexagons are 6. The hexagons represent the cat. The cat represents the gateway, the divided gates of either 88 or 66. When you're in this world, while you're in the heavens, but you're only 6, you need to connect through the 7th gate or the lunar moon, and then take the breath of life to come in here for the communication center. So what it is, the number 24, 2 times 4 equals to 8. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. 6 and 8 are on each side of the 7th gate. I can either say, call it 6 and 6, or call it 8 and 8. The only reason it's different is because it's the instructions to building. But when I walk up to the machine, if I see a 6 and 8, I'm going to see in my hand and on the machine for the instructions, I'm going to see the same numbers. I plug it in. Because if I show different numbers from the machine to the piece I need to plug in, then that's another number I'm not going to be able to use because I use two numbers in showing the reflection. Here, since I know what the number is, I'll just match them up and use the two numbers and call them 66 instead of using it 6 with 8, dividing by the 7th gate, because I already know the position of 6 and 6. 6 and 6 is what connects. Remember, 1, 3, 5, 7. 2, 4, 6, 8. The 2 will connect 1 and 3. The 4 will connect 3 and 5. And the 6 will connect 5 and 7. And in Gematria, the piano, the way the piano works, what it does, it only goes to 7. We go up to 7, G. We go down to M. M is now 1 in this situation. So the whole alphabet and all the numerics now change. Now I have a different way of giving dimension to the numbers we've already spoken about, but they're going to be used, can I say, in a different context? Okay, just one sec. There's just a bunch of stuff that somebody said something about 6174. Yes, I forget. I had partial answer for that. Yeah, that repeats. I know that number very well. I know that number very well. The spirit, those numbers just say so much. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but when you have 6174, when you have 3 numbers, automatically the center number will be between 2. If you have 4 numbers, you're going to tie up the 2 numbers in the center, and you'll have the bookends on the outside to what's on the guts on the inside. If you have 5 numbers, it will be 1, 3, 5, and in each dimension of the spread, if I have 3 numbers, then I'm going to have my first house and the story in my first house, and then my second house and the story in my second house. Although I only gave you 2 numbers, when these numbers are there, that means these show up also. When the 1 and 5 are there, these have to show up. You need to understand the whole 360 of your house. Is anybody you follow what I'm saying with that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm stoking my fire and stuff, so I'm listening in the background.
Hold on a second. Did you say you're doing something with a fire?
I'm stoking my fire and
He's stoking the fire. Everybody, put it into your mind right now. There's nice, fresh wood smoke that's going out the chimney. Something's going out the chimney. That beautiful, good air that's bringing us new oxygen just from the wood. Oh my God, I want to smell that fire. So what you just said, fire. So you just told us that you're divided between 2 sides. Because if you're fire, you now become the first zodiac sign. If you're fire, you're also going to be the 5th zodiac sign. You're now going to be jumping into Leo and then into Sagittarius right out at this moment, okay, while you're stoking the fire. This is what you become at this moment. So the elements that are within these zodiac signs are going to be the empowerment you should be receiving. At the same time,
I feel empowered. And so does the Hobbit.
Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Oh no, that was good. Continue.
Exactly, because I'm Sagittarius.
You keep fucking around, I'm gonna smoke these cigars.
First
People.
time in my life since I moved in off grid and I live by the fire, that it's allowing my being to open up new dimensions, new spirits, and healing. The fire light, right, gives off the same healing light as the sun. Because the sun it feeds the tree turns into carbon. When I put it in the fire and I burn it, and the carbon releases that light back. There's so much to it. There's so much to the fire light. And being a Sagittarius, I found my place.
So would you think the fire was the engine?
Oh, the fire was more like the bus.
So you wouldn't think it was a fire engine.
All along. The engine was in all along. Was it inside all along?
So then it could be the fire engine.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
You know when the fire engine shows up, you have to get apples?
Apples?
Yeah, you need an apple.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a teacher coming along.
I don't understand. Okay.
I'm gonna explain it to you. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. My key just okay, this is what happens. I do word analogy. I connect words together. I re-express the sentences that have already been told because of association. What they put into our minds for us to repeat over time, over and over. Fire engine. When you're a kid, they're not going to lie to you as a kid. When they tell the truth, they are telling a lie. And when they tell the lie, they are telling the truth. There's 360 degrees to every word you speak. So when you say fire engine, what's going to happen? The apple, yes. Because, hold on a second. Yes, because in French, a fireman is a pompier, which means an apple foot. So now by being an apple foot, I know a foot is 12 inches, so I now have to include 12 in this. So, and when I connect all these dots inside of it, I look at the story and I tell the story that's being told, and then we look at it, all of us, and we say, is that possible? And why did I put teacher and apple? Because
not being
when we
true
first went to school in the early
I'm gonna have
ages,
to walk it off.
right? We used to bring the teacher an apple. But we also know you must be careful, because if you were the wooden boy and you were Pinocchio, you never made it to school. What happened to your apple? You must be a bad apple. So now we know Pinocchio's nose. The nose has to grow when you tell a lie. So we have to understand all these stories. And it started only after basically Hollywood started, because Hollywood, what I find with energy and the moon and the suspension system on better and better and better cars, right? The better the car, usually better the suspension system. When I talk about a suspension system, I'm talking about energy that is not delivered to us immediately, or it's delivered to us in a softer ride. So they put out these movies in Hollywood, and instead of reserving everything into the moon that turns into light, but must exhaust itself, because coming into the game, whoever owns the house owns these moons that's going on, and they're just doing a balancing act between the zodiac signs and the moon, looking to put all that information that's coming into the house. The letters are flying in the air. You're breathing it in. How in the world can you hear me? You see me, but how is it possible? Because it's only electricity. It's the basis of all things to start up your computer, the electricity. You don't see me, and if you do, how come? Somebody's going to tell you some technological reality, but that same technological reality is happening for every breath you take. When you close your eyes, if you can feel yourself humming, vibrating very fast, close your eyes. Inside your head, it's going to do even if you were blind, you're going to create within your mind the most fantastic portraits you've ever seen. You couldn't even imagine. It hasn't even been created yet, because I've seen it. And I've seen it when I heard some good music and I was in a good vibration, and I connected my teacher. I connected the bridge between the hemispheres. Teacher, okay, is a 2-letter word, and it only begins once the reception of creation connects to what and who the teacher is, and that's the number 4. The teacher comes from Mars. The 4th letter, when you have 1, you say first, you say gold. When you have 2, you say second, and you have silver. When you say 3, you say third, and you have bronze. Maybe you have LeBron's. And when you have LeBron's James, what you actually have is you have the soul of creation. You have the soul of Jack. You have the soul of picking up the plug-in. The J letter is your compressed pen that comes in the smaller shoe of 1, 2, 3, 4. That 3 runs itself into 4. and can only be played on the ring. 3 coming into 4. Otherwise, it'd be plugged in, and you plug it in. You can only use 5 of 6 sides. If I have 6 sides, I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll stop. I'll count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the lower house, I didn't count 6. In the upper house, I didn't count 1. The 1 and 6 carry the 2 houses of 2, 3, 4, 5 together.
Yahtzee.
Is that what it is?
The long run. In Yahtzee, it's the run, like the 5-letter run. What's the word for it? Where you got
Oh, yes.
Yahtzee. Back to the games again.
Yes. Oh, it's all the games. What is fair? Okay, I just want to show you this, hold on, just this thing over here.
The large straight, I mean, that's what it is. The large straight and then the small straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, no, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, here's what happens, okay? First of all, the teacher got the apple, Pinocchio brought the student, right? And the teacher is because once you come into your creation, on first and second, you stand. You stand on 17, you stand on the gateway of Mars in the lower world, 10 and 7. Now, if you add it, okay, 10 and 7, it equals to 17. But when you minus 10 from 7, it equals to 0, 3. 3 for third, for bronze, for your base creation in Mars. The upper house is 3 times the lower house, equaling to numeric value 51. Like area 51, area equals the same evaluation as Jack, and the same evaluation as the word Earth. When you count up, you have first and second, you have silver and gold. Silver and gold, guess where they are? Why silver and gold?
1 and 2, right?
7. They have 7 in common.
Oh.
Would you like to know why?
Yeah.
They have 7 in common because once the gold defeats in the semifinals one of the 4 teams, and the silver has defeated one of the 4 teams, that when they were in the semifinals, one was going to be a TH, the other was going to be an RD.
How do you get that? TH, RD.
Well, what's going to happen is once these 2 teams are defeated by these 2 teams who end up in the finals, these 2 teams, when they play each other, one will end up third and coming in the bronze position. The other will be in the 4th. It'll be the 4th position runner-up. TH is the beginning of a run that runs all the way to 20th. You have 16 or 17 areas, okay, in the TH heaven before you begin back again at ST and first at 21st. That's the completion of the cube.
Oh. Wow.
I answer every question. Every question's got a numerical value. I'm going to answer it that way until I can expand my mind to stretch it out to give you more of a decodification of what is happening around the world. All the information that I have, it's because somebody else had a patent on it, somebody got a trophy for it, some professional team created it, it's happening in Las Vegas, whatever it is, a word, a dot, a dash, a letter, it doesn't matter, and any language that you can write out the name of that language in the English language under the alphabet I use, I will tell you something about that name through the numeric value of the name and particles of the usage of that name.
Wow. You talked about the Sagittarius and the fire engine, and you led to the 17th, which is my birthday.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what happens over here? When you get to TH, right? When you get to TH, is everybody ready for this? We only have 4 people here. This is really sickening. I put out a lot of energy, and I'm hoping that a lot of people can pick up on this energy because we need to share it. We need to make the little elephant. You know, the great thing about the elephant, it knows exactly where the watering hole is. It doesn't waste any time. It takes a little bit in its nose, and the elephant's ready to go. You know? That's all you need for the microprocessor is just processor. So, so let me finish off here. Is E and 17, which is why will you 1 and 2 that brings you into the game, right? Your 17, right, is you stand on your creation. When you hold the dice cube up this way, you're going to see 2, 5, 1, 6. That's 14. Plus 3, stand on 17. I plugged in Mars. Plug me in. 17 and 4, 21. 174 is the movement of this planet. In our time, 7 months, 31 days, 4 months of 30 days, and the 1 month of Valentine's. But there are 12 months of 28 days, remember that. And all the 1, 2, 3 numbers are just talking about the suns and the moons. Separation, our connection. We're an overlay to what already existed. So let me finish with this. What happens at 4th going all the way to 20th? We have T and we have H. So we put the letter T here, and we put the letter H here, and you say teach. TH, teach. What do you teach? You teach 420. What do you get here? You have here, what is this? Whoops, sorry, I blocked it out. So what do you teach? You teach 420. Your THC 420. C connects to 4D. This is the 2 bronze that ended up playing each other. Are we following so far? The 3rd, you need 1 and 2. You need to end this in order to create this. These 2 are oppositions on the cube together. The 3 and the 4. This is where the plug-in goes. There's 5 sides that show and 1 does not. So when we have THC, from C, we create D. And D goes all the way to 20. It's creation of 420. Mary Jane had a little lamb. This 420 is also going to represent the 4 connected houses of Venus. Do you follow what I'm saying? Why I'm saying the 4 connected houses of Venus? In French, okay, in French and in counting, once you pass the 3rd count, you will take this cube and flip it 180 degrees. It's 1, 2, 3, flip 180 degrees. 1, 2, 3, flip 180 degrees. We can keep flipping this way, but we're never going to get to the continuation of the 4 because the 3 is on the other side. So the only way to get to the 4, if we don't want to make that move, is to either go through the, right, well, let me see again. We have the 3, and the only way to get to the other side, either we go into the E5, or we go into the F6. Or, look at that, we can't go to 2, because that's where we came from. So we can only go here, or we can go here, and guess what? We can't go here because that's where we came from. Also, we can't go to these 2 spots. We came from there. So the 3, in order to make its next move, it moves into the E world or it moves into the birth. One of the 2, the split creation. One that you see in the E world, the electronic resonant connecting angel, where we connect between the moons, our communication center. We play the heart inside the game, and the other one plays, well, the 9 lives of the cat for our birth. The continuous communication between being asleep and being awake, that when you're awake and asleep, you take the cube that has 6, right? You're going to take the cube that has 6. It has 12, right? But you're only 1 person. But you need to duplicate it. So you need to have your 1 die for the death in your life. You remove your life, but you're connected to this one all the time. You're never more than a spider web away from home. In fact, you've never left home. Your mind is not fully here. You're connected here, but you're not fully here. Not according to the numbers. Not according to the numbers. Sorry about that.
Let's see if we can pop that one up.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So I'm just going to just get a little bit of water. So, Tweet Austin, you're here. I mean, I can never stop talking. So if I finished what it was, or if you think I didn't finish what it was, Tweet, would you like to come on? You can invite Tweet to turn on your microphone. So I did. Are we keeping up with these questions? Where is my new pretty cool song, eWorld CBD? Yeah, the only thing I wanted to say until Mr. Tweaker comes on and says, I'm just going to finish with that THC. I'm going to explain that fully so we just don't go overboard.
You have to have the THC to understand.
Yeah, you need the THC. Yeah, that's the teacher.
Where is my mind?
Says it right over here. Your third connects to the fourth. You need to connect this one to this side, the 180 degrees, because inside 5 and 6, 4 is inside 5 and then 6. This is the base connection on the top, and then it fits all the way around the 3.5 area. The dice cube will either be this way or it'll be this way. Here's your standing on 17. Otherwise, it's 18. It's 17 and 18. If I go over here, it's going to be 19, and that would be on the other side. That'll connect the moon, and that is going to be a combination of where Earth shows up. There's a bunch of things to go in here, and I'm not solid in explaining them in a recorded way that others can understand, other than piecing it apart. And if I do that, I'm just going to lose everybody. Also, that if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. If I don't see it, I recommend that you cut it out so that maybe you can paste it up there 2 or 3 times and maybe one of us will notice it. And if anybody interrupts me, that's fine. But please, one of you, if you'd like to make you a moderator, because if somebody interrupts me, it cuts my train off the track, and I don't know sometimes where I was, so I need to be helped to be reminded to get back onto the track. My mind don't weigh nothing. So we have the first and second, right? That creates your 3. That's your third. That's your CC creation. That's your 33 creation. Number 33. That's it. We need no more than 33. That's it. 32 plus 1. That's it. You need no more.
I'm a master mason, huh?
That's all you need. 32 plus 1. 1 degree past the freezing mark. That's it. In the human born birth man 6, you can now have the opportunity to minus 6 from that number and go all the way back down to number 27, the departure from the house. The departure from the house became the fish. So what is the communication from inside our system where the waterworks is to what is breathing on the outside of the system becomes the bird. The other one is the fish that is on the inside of the system. The word bird, B-I-R, okay? D equals to a total of 33. The word fish, F-I-S-H, equals to 42. The mathematics of 4 and 2, 4 times 2, 4 plus 2, your head is in the sky, you've divided the 7th gate. But when you have the 33 for the I think it goes for the bird, right? It's 3 times 3 equals to your 9 birth, and the 3 plus 3 equals to your 6 life, creating that yin and yang from 33. Also in French, the last number they say in French is actually 69, because all the numbers switch to reality. They don't say it the same. They start over a new system, right after 69. So that is actually the last number. I bounce around numbers between English and French. So we understood here that when you get into the fourth has a run of 17 numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And on 17, 17 numbers. Go over teacher in creation of 420. Your 420 is the connection of the four areas of the house of Venus. The three comes into three of the four houses of Venus because we're traveling. We're not in the summer house. We're not in the winter house. We're in the summer house, they're in the winter house, they're in the house of fall, and we're all changing systems because we're rotating inside the same dog house. We're rotating inside the same dog house, and we're rotating inside ourselves. Each individual communication and create among each unity. And when you create this unity is talking, right? All these talks have a value. They're all valued at 5. Can you see this here? Although you see...
Are you putting it together?
No, there's the blue line here. Sorry. No, the whole thing. You see it.
Yes.
It's 5. Roman numeral 5 is a piece. Every time you flip that sheet over to one side, you're actually showing them that 5. 5. As far as the two girls connect. When you have 4 of them, and that's the called out T-minus counting, they connect the side column all the way to the double. But when you think about Canada, or say can you see, is because instead of connecting the hexagon, the octagon, 8, the system is 4 times 5 connecting 8, you will be connecting 3 times 5, which means to the 16th letter, the letter is O. So now you say, O, say can you see, and at this time when you say that, you're talking about the water. So if you're talking about the water, you're going to be talking about, I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but I think we're talking about Cancer, and I think we're talking about Scorpio, and I think we're talking about Pisces. Is that right? Because I'm talking about the water. Follow where I'm going with this? You know why I said the water? Put me back to where I was because in explanation I lost my oh yes, because the letter O is a representation of water. In French, it's C-A-U. So when you say water in French, you hear what you're saying? There's 2 crazy words in French that when they say them, they have no idea what the words are. One of the words is C-A-U, and that's for water, and the other one, and that's where you get aqueduct.
Booster.
And that's where you get Aquarius.
Best possible fundraiser. Money Dolly is your answer. It's an app that lives on your phone.
At the same time, you're going to say, yes, the word yes. Yes.
Our product.
Yes.
Your product. Donations.
When you say that word,
any
it's
combination.
3 vowels. So automatically when you have vowels, you're telling a complete story from it. The U is the completion of the die. The I and we is my birth into this world, into the O world, into the world of communication in the doghouse. That's what they're telling me here. 45. It's going to represent the fox. It's going to represent our communication. It's going to check. Look at the numbers for we. 339. That is our base creation. We are that creation. The reason for fox is 15 and 21 is 36 and 9, 45. Fox equals to 45, and it's part of the house of 666. When they removed the Canadian penny off the market, right, they automatically told me, okay, that 1 and 2 and 8 and 9, okay, are all equal to 10. They also told me that 3 and 4 and 6 and 7, okay, are equal to 5.
Watch how safe and
This is what they told everybody. This is what we're being told here in Canada. 1 and 2, 1 or 2, or 8 or 9, okay, equals to 10.
No paperwork, no bounce
3 or 4, or 5 or 6, sorry, 3 or 4, or 6 or 7 is equal to 5. So the total here, 17 and 3.
All the best-selling products and electronic donations in one simple app. Money Dolly is transforming fundraising to be easier than you could ever imagine. So click the link below, hop on a call, I'll see you
there. So the story that's going on over here, okay, is that the lower house over here for the dime connecting the 10 star, right? Not connecting into the world. The difference between the 10 and the 5, I'm going to explain these to you, right? And I'm hoping, so this one we did just before. We were talking about creation in Mars, right?
So, you're trying to raise money for
Stand
your
on
school
17, 3 by 17 equals to
You see,
51.
Money Dolly is an app that lives in
The
your
upper
pocket.
world is 3 times the
Welcome
value
to
of the
Money
lower
Dolly.
world.
If you need to raise money
The first
without
4 numbers
stress,
and the last 4 numbers, the first 4 numbers equal 10, the last 4 numbers equal 30. 5 is what connects them all. Remember the number 5? We connect that to the 10 system. 1 and 9, 10, 2 and 8, 10, 3 and 7, 10, 4 and 6, 10. When Deliverance came, they only delivered us 1, 2, 3, 4.
with it,
We did 1 and 4 for analog digital, and we connected the BCCB codes to the analog digital, where we ended up with ABC 6 coming into life to our BCD, or 432 equaling to 9 in rotation of 33. 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 4, 9.
Just minutes. First,
We
customize
reflect.
your fundraisers
Inside B and C, we communicate after the death before the
building
Christ.
their My Circle and teaching
This
them
is
how to
our
navigate
this is our compressed 10 that when it expands, it becomes 1 and 9, 10, 7 and 3,
So,
10,
you're trying to
6
raise
and 4,
money for your
10,
school team
8
or
and 2, 10.
Check this
So I use all my 10s and everything passes through the 5. So when I go back here to show you about 10 and 5, now you can understand that one is in the upper house and one is connected in the lower house. It just so happens that the Earth moon is 3,467 kilometers around, equivalent to what is 2160 miles, which is equivalent to 1.5 times a day, which is equivalent that when you get blackjack, which is 21, ace 11, ace representing the divided house at 5.5, which is the sky pass, and I know I'm talking a little bit too quick because I don't want to lose myself. The payout in blackjack, okay, is 1.5. Right? We've been pirated. Blackjack, pirate eye, blackjack, right? The game of 21. So this goes into this one over here. So you can see the 5 and 1, how it comes together. And this is all about taking the penny off the market. Everything connects to the E world, that star, right? Everything connects to that, like I mentioned over here. So when I pass through this star 3 times, you can pass through it once. You can pass through it twice, right? That's on the cross. You pass through it 3 times, you now have the hexagon. When we pass through it twice, we can create 4 areas. When we pass through it once, sorry, let me explain this. I'm going to do this. We cut it in half this way, 180 degrees. We cut it in half this way, it's marked off as 90. Why do we mark this one 90 to the left and the right hemisphere? When we have both the upper and lower in both hemispheres over here, but now we have down into the ocean and up into the sky. In this one over here, I'm doing a basic count on it. They're all, whoop, I didn't do any lines in it. I have to do the lines, 1 second. I created 3 lines over here, 6 points, 6 divisions, 6 times 60, 360, 360, 360, 360. On each side of these, I'm only going to mark this at 90 right now, okay? And I'm marking at 90 because it's splitting the 2 zones, and the area space is now this way and this way. So I see it differently. You follow what I'm saying? Even though it's still half and half, this one gets marked up this way. I don't know why I did that. I can't explain it right now, but the base creation of 360 is when you put these 2 together. 3 times 6 or 60, 180. 3 plus 6, 9 or 90. And they come together through this one over here, through their wholeness when they get broken down. Do you follow what I'm saying? So let me see. I think I finished with that. I'm not even sure where I was. So Tweet, yeah, go ahead. I gotta just stop myself right now. Yeah, so anytime you want to come on, Tweet, you let me know. Even if I start something, and I will. Just any.
Earlier you talked about the K and the king and the queen being L and M.
Yes.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Okay, how is that?
Because the 12th letter is the Bat Mitzvah, and the 13th letter is the Bar Mitzvah.
Oh, okay.
But they move, they shift. Once it happens, once your 12th birthday arrives, I want to ask you a question. When today arrives, right? When today arrives last night, right? We're always working, when we're always halfway in. Every single number I count, it seems like I'm on the other side. I'm half in, half out, all the time. When you take a step and it says 1, you're actually in the center of 1, between what is 1/2 and what is 1.5. And if I go to number 3, you're not actually in 3. You're what is between 2.5 and 3.5. You're at the heart of that number, being in that position. Now you have a choice because you're in the heart, and you had to create that position with a protractor. You had to start from the center of that area as well. According to Fibonacci, everything comes out from that area. That is the way the exit is, or the entry. Nothing grows from the outside; it grows from the inside out. Right? Is that, unless it's dust in the wind, and then again. So where was I with that? Ask me that question again.
Just connecting the L and the M to the K and the Q, king and the queen.
So what happens when I said this is when you have the first birthday, what happens if you celebrate your child's first birthday? What happens the next day? How old are they?
Oh, a fraction.
Okay, you can say a fraction, but if it's a racehorse, okay, and it's the next day, the horse is not a fraction, the horse is 2. The minute you turn 2, you're 2. You're 2 from the first day all the way to the last day. All you got to do is get to that 1 hour of that one day, and you're automatically 2. Spending 1 hour out of 365 days, you will say, I am 2 years old.
Oh.
Does that make any sense to anybody?
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't make sense, then I'm a lunatic. If anybody wants to come on and ask questions, I mean, we're 9 in the chat right now. I mean, we're 9 here. If you have any questions, the thing is, an argument is an uncompromised discussion. I'm not here for, what do you call it? I'm not here for a discord for somebody. If you want to tell me this is not possible about something, or how can it be, but to, what do you call it? There's something they come on here and they tell you there was some, I forget what that kind of discord is, but we're here. I'm here to learn from you. And if you can learn from what we talk about, a new way of understanding the numbers. If you think something doesn't make sense, I would like to know so I can go back and look at it myself. Possibly I made a mistake, right? There are a lot of hypotheses here where I use, like, let's say I mentioned before by Mighty Messer, he mentioned the number 10 and 40, right? Or 10 and 4, or 104. So what happens with 104 is I always call it communication. I call it communication because of CB codes, the 10-4. I call it CB codes for the 10-4 because the 10 and the 4, okay, 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, 4 is 4. The CB codes where 1 goes to one side of BC to where the 4 goes to the other side of BC. They become ABCD, and that is your communication with your ABC6 to your BCD9, your 3 times 3, your 3 plus 3, equaling to your rotation of your 6 and 9, and in that CB code radio. I just want to see if I can just write that down. 10-4 equals to 40, and 14 equals to 54, and 26. Wow. It's telling me about the doghouse in the sun. It's also telling me about the woman. It's telling me about love. Of course, it's telling me that when you do see 10 and 4, there's other stories that come out from this, right? Here's your 10, and here's your 4. 10, 4. If you play the game of craps at the casino, they will give you 9 chips. If you wager 5 chips, which will be 80% or 180%. You got 180%. 180% means you won the plane, the 2 planes that crisscross between the 2 sides, bringing the 2 worlds together through your creation. And I'm going to explain to you. Left hemisphere, right hemisphere, you're born over here. It's the letter R for 18th letter, or the plane of 180 degrees. It crosses across the heavens. The R over here is the 18th letter. The R over here is the 18th letter, but at the same time you create them, you create a head between the 2 legs of R and R. 10 and 10, 20 toes. But over here, this area over here will drag down to here. Now you'll have a 10 over here. And at the same time, it'll drag its legs into this world. You'll have another R over here. At the same time, when you're looking at this, the illusion inside of this is it's going to say 70. See the 7? 70. 70 to one side, 70 to the other side, 77, and 7 comes on top. You're born into the gateway. You now connect the 2 heavens. The 2 heavens that comes together. Both heavens get their own numbers. They get their calculators each, right? But I believe that one is a calculator. We also have the other one, that's the telephone. The telephone and the calculator, they have to work together. They're not the same. They're not the same the way the position is. So we connect an opposition star to it. If I can find my telephone somewhere, just give me a minute. Breathe.
Yeah, and then 77 is Christ power energy, right?
Right. Matter, Christ, power, energy that creates the student Yo-11. The reason for that.
Let me ask you this: with the Queen,
but I was really struggling and felt really broken, and
she's 10 and 17,
yeah, like
and then Jack is 10 and 17.
For me, my own journey, like
why is Jack 10 and 17?
Leaning on that and feeling like being
the J is 10,
and then feeling safe.
Right, and then reverse is 17.
And then shortly later,
okay, hold on a second, because I know it comes. It slips its way in there. One of the reasons it slips its way in there is because the numeric value for Jack is 25. Okay, the Jack is the 11th card in the deck, so right away it tells you it gets split. It's the Jack that gets split. Okay, and then it puts the.
Yeah, I'm talking about the alphabet though. Like it's 10 is J. And then the reverse, J is 17, and so that's your
yes. Your reflection of your creation is 17. That's why we stand on 17. 1 and 2, alpha, beta, father and mother. Yes. Jack is plugged in.
So the King, Queen, and Jack, they play a big role even in the Q, J, and K in the alphabet.
Right.
Basically.
Right. The 12th card is the 12th letter, which is the second letter in gematria when running at the 7th gate. Although you have what is 9 to a face, right? You never use or have any penetration other than 7. It's only going to be 7 of 9. It's going to be 6 and 1, or it's going to be 6 and 1 with the 2 void. What that means is when we drill these out, all these numbers, this side and this side will show 77, 7 reflecting 7. All the other sides, when I drill them out, I'll have 4 holes here. When I drill out the other side, this one penetrates, and now I have 5. And then when I drill out this one towards the 3, I'll have 5. I'll have 4 sides of 5 and 2 sides of 7. 20 plus 14 is 34. Very strong number. It's the controller, number 64, the controller of it all. (14 and 20 equals to 34. It's going to be blue as well. So I also mentioned the 10 and the 4, that the payout is 9 to 5. And the thing about the 9 and 5 is that the numeric value of 9 and the numeric value of 5 are both the same. It's number 42, identical to the cat. Therefore, the mathematics will equal to 6 and 8, leaving room for the seventh gate to bridge together the two of them. And when you bridge the two of them together, you end up with this. The payout is 9 to 5. 9 and 5 are both 42, just like the cat. The mathematics, 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals 8 and 6. The numeric value for dog is 26, 8, octagon. You can put 4 hexagons. The numeric value for the cat is 24, 6. 6 is a hexagon. I can put 4 hexagons inside one octagon. Inside one octagon. And I connect that by the seventh gate. Here it is. There's the seventh gate, 5G TV. The numeric value, okay, for the moon and birth is 5 and 7. 5, right, over here. I'm just trying to remember where I got it. It was 5G, which is EG, G and E. Oh, yes, because I mentioned the seventh gate. So here's the seventh gate represented by G. 9 and 5. Okay, they're here. One side is 4 and 1, 5. The other side is 9. Then when you go to the next one, it's going to be 6 and 3, 9. And then the other side, did I get that already? 6 and 3, 9. And then 1 and 4, 5. And then what we get, 5 and 4, 9, 3 and 2, 3 and 2, 5 and 4. The other one was 3 and 6, 4 and 1. So do you see exactly what's happening? The 5 and 9 work together, where what goes in between 5 and 9 is 6, 7, and 8. When you look at this, the lower level is 1 through 5. The upper level is 5 through 9. There's never going to be more than 3 between a number at any time. 2, 3, and 4. That's the max. Once you put more to that number, you end up in the mirror, or you end up on a pillar. If you take a look, oh, here there's only 2 in between. This way there's only 1 in between. This way there's 2 in between. But going this way, there's 3 in between. Going this way, there's 3 in between. Going this way, the beehive going this way, there's only 3 in between. Right? When you go this way, it's 2 by 2 by 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. 6 plus 2 is 8. I go this way. 2 plus 4 is 6. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 4 plus 4 is 8. So this is only a skeleton. This is only a base model. And all these numbers change. All these numbers change until they equal to what they equal to with the reason, okay, of the equation. The equation always 3 and 4. If you want to understand, it's always 3 and 4, right? To understand the heart of these cubes is always 3 and 4. I just want to see, so yeah, before when I was talking about that communication as well, that's why I came on to say that, right, is because what happened with the 10-4 communication that was mentioned, just hold on, Mighty Messer mentioned that, is that I just want to see that what happens in that communication is you create the communication of 1 and 4, and you communicate with 2 and 3 inside of this. You follow what I'm saying? Take away the 0. It's 2 and 3. So you have what is You have your 3 times 3 equaling to 9. Your 3 plus 3 equaling to 6. You have your 1 over here, your 4 over here, 1 and 4, right? You have your 1 here, you have a 4 over here. What keeps them together is number 2 and 3, BC. 2 and 3, number 23, keeping everything together. Right? The famous number 23. So that's about. So is anybody who wants to say something? I got to relax my throat. Somebody else wants to come on. Okay. So if somebody wants to talk before I bring him on completely to speak. Okay, I don't know what happened to him, how he disappeared. Did you not want to come on now? Or I think he disappeared completely. Or hold on a second. Let's use here. No, okay, wait a second. You're down here. Did you want to come on, Journeyman, or was that just a mistake? I'll invite you if you want to come up. Then that's up to you. Don't be shy. Entertainment purposes only. We use real information, right, from real sources. You can tell me if you want to tell me these are not dice cubes. That's fine. I'll let everybody else take a survey on that. If you want to tell me that these are not 9 numbers in this area square, you can say that to me. If you tell me that the kids that go to school today don't learn their ABCs, you can also tell me that. You can tell me about Sesame Street, that within the word Sesame Street, in French, it says the road of souls. The road of souls. And what brought me, again, this is one of the reminders that brought me to put up one of these pictures. Just give me a second.
One of the rules I was taught was with the 0, the O's, and how, like, you can just omit them because it's the spirit. So it's there, but it's kind of like a placeholder in a way, and I think isn't that like a gematria rule? Are there any gematria rules that you have that you could share with us?
What I have about the 6 is, I remember correctly, when you connect 5 numbers, right, it's in the E world, it's going to connect to the 6. And the reason for that is in the game of roulette, when you connect 5 numbers, and that is only when you are working with 38 numbers, otherwise you cannot make that work. So you need to use the 38 number 000 in order to create that denomination or figure. At the same time, and you're going to have to ask this question again, at the same time, you ask that question again because I want to recalibrate with that, and I still want to finish with the 5775 and why it was that. Ask me that question again, please.
Well, I was asking about, okay, so I learned, like with the 0, or when you're doing the math, the 0 can just fall away because it's the spirit. It's there, it's kind of like a placeholder, so it can be there to hold a place, and then it can disappear. So I was taught that using the gematria rule, and so I was asking if you had any.
Well, okay, so what I see is that the star system is 10, everything ends up in the E world. So the 0 gets cut in half. So right away you cut 0 in half, you have 5. Doesn't matter what it is. The minute you cut something in half, you have half of what it was. So if you want to give it a name 0, that's fine. But it's automatically cut in half. You cut it into 4, it's valued at 2.5. You cut the 0 into 4 areas. You cut up the pie the way you want, it's equal to all sides.
To show divine creation.
So the 0 can also be 5 and a 6 because it's half of 10. You take it away. So how 10 becomes 1, right? How 10 becomes 1 because we've removed the 0 because it was like the spirit, the placeholder.
I like to look at 0 as this. I like to look at 0 as when I have 9 numbers and I know that my creation is 3 numbers and 6 numbers, I'll use this and I'll connect these 3 numbers and then I'll round up all these together. And now I have a 10. Or I'll grab these 3 numbers and grab all these 6 together. So now I have another looking 10. So I'll always use 0 to grab 6 numbers. At the same time, I can also do this if I wanted to connect 8 numbers and 4 numbers. So there's 2 ways to do it. One of the reasons for that, and I probably should do it that way, is because this doesn't end here. As I said in creation, you must begin here. Well, if you begin here, you must end here. And this is number 11. 12 is the new beginning. The NFL football runs with 11 men on the field. You can say the coach is there for all directives like the God, right? But when you have 11 men on the field, it's not actually set up that way. It's set up 9 and 2. That's your house of 9-11, because you have the first person, which is the snapper, right? So now we have to put the word snap into this. Passes it to the quarterback, the QU. The quarterback is a word that says quarter, means 25, 25%. Or it can also mean 15 if you're looking at a quarter of time, 15 seconds. Anything to do with 15 will reflect the letter O. Anything that reflects the letter O will tell me that I have part of a star system hexagon. And you know why? Because when you pass through this area here, if I draw a line straight through, count to 5. If I draw another line straight through, count it again. When I draw another line straight through, count it again. I got 3 times 5 equals to 15. 15th letter is the letter O. We connect it up to hex. Why hex? 3 lines crisscrossing the beginning and the end of each line equals to 6. That's the hexagon. Equals to communication. When I put all of them, it's the octagon. So now hexagon, octagon. We have to understand these 2 words. Hex and X. Hex and X. So yes, the minute you have E and X together, right away, you're connecting to the creation world. X, the reverse alphabet for X, is tri-creation. It's before, because it's the number 3. 3 and 24. When you bring the E next to it, it equals to 29. From the right to the left on the piano, the 29th key will be the center C, which is the 24th key. The 24th key, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, equals to 8 and 6, dividing of the 7th gate. Now, with the number 29, if the river doesn't flow red at the 29th day of the month, we know we're going to have a child that's going to be born. In the utopia world, I have to follow those rules. These are the rules I was taught. These are the rules I follow. Anything that alters from these rules, okay, will be altered with an understanding what I need to connect in order to make that equation perfect. So whatever you tell me, I'm going to get the item that whatever it is, that will, like if I want to come up to 28 and I need 29, I'm going to grab number 1. So right away, number 1 is the split of the ace, okay, which means the split of the sun, which means the left side and the right hemisphere. I know at the same time the ace can end up being inside of Gemini. The ace can end up being inside of Sagittarius. The ace can end up being inside of Jupiter, because in the deck of cards, that's where it ends up. This is game science, something that was fair to every man, woman, and child. Fair to us all. My fair lady, right? There it is. Remember I spoke about the 5 and the 9 are the opposite of each other, right? I can lose. Look at that, I still have the 5. See the 4 corners in the center? Well, I got the 4 corners. 1. I got the 4 corners. I can't even do this. I got the 4 corners and I got the center. My 5 goes right into 9. I live in the E world. I become 5 and 6, 11. My 9 is played over here. I come into this world, I play 5 and 6, 11. I don't need the 9. The 9 is my communication system. I'm born with an operating system, an OS. I know, my mother gave me the board. So, who else is... So, did it work out for the 0 there?
Yes.
So 0 is also Zion, 0, Israel. They're all numeric values 64. They're all going to equate to what is 10 and 24. Back to 10 and 24.
Hey, you still need bleach?
What?
Bleach. Bleach.
GTV I wanted to mention. Yeah, that 5G TV,
Oh, shit.
okay, the doghouse. Just give me a minute. I have to see where I was. So much going on.
Guess you can't just order one.
You know what? Let's take a 2-minute
Okay.
break, and if somebody wants to send out to get more people in here, so we can have a little bit more discord. Yeah, I can talk forever, right? Oh, another thing in the picture, right? You see this head over here, right? Well, it's 4 to one world, and it's 4 to the other world. 44. The two angles of the eyes are telling me the delta angles between the eyes. The nose gets split in half. It's a 0.5. Right? So everybody, you can understand what this is. I found that book I lost yesterday. What? Sorry about the camera falling down. Yeah, well, I want to take a 2-3 minute break. Just for.
Yeah, in your art that shows with the R, I'm just seeing some red or pink high heels there.
Oh, I'm wearing the high heels. Yes, so we.
Those are some hot boots.
So I spoke earlier on. I talked about the letter O, right? The letter O in French. In French, it's water for the letter O. So now you talk about aqueduct. You talk about Aquarius. Aquarius is going to boomerang itself all the way back to Venus. But we play in the 4th house of Venus. We are in the 4th house as Venus as 6 man. We play in the 4th house, 420. But what we are in the 4th house, okay, is 320. So we're 60, running 60 seconds on the clock to what is. Now, when you say the numbers of 420 in French, right, there's a misunderstanding can happen if you're talking to AI. That if I say it in French to AI, right, the AI system might pick it up wrong. In French, you will say 80 for 80. Inside the word 80 is the word cat. Inside cat communication, right? The 9 lives of the cat. So when you say 80 in French, and okay, if you want to say 81 in French, you're going to say 81. If you want to say 82 in French, you're going to say 82. If you want to say 84 in French, you're going to say 84. Okay, now we have a problem. The reason for this problem, okay, or a little tweak in the matter, is because when you say it, it sounds like what you're saying is 24. It sounds like you're saying 4 times 24 instead of saying 4 times 20 plus 4. So in this equation, you end up at 96, in which you should only end up at 84. Did I say that right? Let me see if I said that right. Yes. At the same time, like I said before, when you talk about the X, and I talked about this word with X, somebody said something with X. So when the word X comes up and the 29 comes up, what happens is the 29th day, either you're having your period or you're not. So in the Utopia world of creation, what happens is the child is being born. So we now understand what is the 29th day of February. What happens on April 1st? Well, it's 1 and 4. It's bringing the 2 worlds of communication together. It also becomes the 91st day on April 1st. But 13 by 7, it equals to 1 suit in the deck of cards. 1 suit has been completed in the deck of cards out of the 4 suits, right? You can just take that 1 suit out of the deck, and we can now start playing the game. 3 suits and 1 suit, because that's the way it is. The 4 suits will equal to 91 times 4, 364, or 13 by 28, equaling to 364. The 28th day in the cycle moon. So when you have April 1st in a leap year, it becomes the 92nd day. 91 equals to spirit. 91 or 19 is what connects the 9-11 system, where you bring the birth, 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 4 and 5, 3 and 6, into the house of Bait, right? Because you get the 10 house where the 10 birth Okay, we come into the 11th house, 2 and 9, 11, 3 and 8, 11, 5 and 6, 11, 7 and 4, 11. That's what happens in this instance. Am I making any sense? I know I am, but I might not be explaining it properly. Right, it was in the hex. Thank you very much. That's what, so already in the hex, the first letter is telling me, that's why I brought up the picture before, because the hex is telling me I'm between the two sides. The H is telling me I'm between the two sides. I am the birth between the two sides. I am the birth in the Valley of the Queen. This is the Queen. This one here and this one here will be the Queen over here. Why is it the Queen? Well, I'm only using, this is hypothetical, and it has two answers to it. The Queen will be, what is the H? The Queen is the 12th card in the deck. The Q is the 17th card. The Queen has 8 eyes. No other suit has 8 eyes. She has all her eyes. She sees everything, everywhere. So if you need to plug up to anything, you plug up to the Queen. She has all her eyes. She has 8 eyes. She is the heaven. The King has 7 eyes. The King is the gate. Jack is split up between the two worlds, 3, 1, and 3, at the 7th gate, connecting to the 2 moons, 3, 1, 3, 2, connecting to the 2 moons of Mars, creating your 9. There is another addition to that. I have to think about what it is, because I like to add up to more than just 9. I think I need to add up to more, but I'm just, oh yes, I connect to 12, but then I connect all the strands, the 12 strand, the 12 strand, and the 12 strand, in which, I'll unplug this for a second. I'm just going to just show you this over here, because in games, like I said, it's a 3-to-1 system, right? So in games, right, in games, you connect your first strand, your first 12. The first one is going to be Capricorn. The second one is going to be Aquarius. That's going to connect the left side to the right side. The third one is going to be Pisces. Now I go ahead and I take it and I connect here. I need to mirror it all. So now I mirror it and I connect them with the octagon, the 8, the doghouse, joining 2 houses together, where the hexagon cat lives in the communication center. Inside that, joining 36 and 36 area spaces, which is 12, 12, 12, as you can see over here. Now, if you want to know where I got this, remember we were talking about the 10 before, where the 10 doesn't exist, or the 0 doesn't exist? Well, take a look at this design. In this design, there's no 10, but the design is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. So I don't have a 10. So what do I do with this over here? Should I use the average of this? What happens is when you go to the store in Canada and they don't have a penny, you're either paying the nickel, and the nickel will connect directly to the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7. 4, 5, and 6 connecting to the Federation. Above and below. What you have to do is you now take this like this, and then you take it like this, connecting the upper level with the lower level. It's a Tetris piece, but I'm showing you both of them. It's divided over here. The 5 nickel will connect the lower part to the upper part. It doesn't, because what I showed you in the L number 10 before, I showed you the L, I only showed you in one position. You have to do it wherever you can. It's a science. You can't leave anything out. So when they took the penny off the market, right, this one over here, okay, it's going to equal to 365.47 days a year, leaving over what the other line is over here. 8, 9, 1, and 2. There is no 10. So if I need to be in the center area of numbers, I'm either going to have 8 or 2 equal to my 10, or I'm going to have what is 9 and 1 equal to my 10. I have a 10, 10 over here. Over here, I have the, let me see what this one is again. Oh, no, let me see what this one is. 3 and 7, 10. Right? 3 and 7, 10. And then you have 4 and 6, 10 is 20. This one has 25. This one I only have 20. So that would be the letter T and the letter Y in the alphabet. The T and the Y give me a second. The T and the Y, what they're going to express, okay, is that when you cross through the star system, the E world connecting, where's my calculator? When you cross through over here, your first star is going to create a 20, right? Crossing through, you're going to create a 20. Now, when you start putting stars over each other, right? For example, let me just mark this. 1, 5, 9, 2, 5, 8, 3, 5, 7. Actually, I'll just do it this way. It's going to be a little bit easier. 15, 15. Yeah, okay. Know which way to do it. There's only 4 connects. There's only 4 connects to connect the system. 1 through 9, crossover 5. 3 through 7, crossover 5. 2 through 8, crossover 5. 4 through 6, crossover 5. So the highest we can go is 20. But when you balance them out, 5 and 20, 25. 10 and 15, 25. So the letter for Earth's plugin will be because of this average of crossing through the 5 system, connecting the 10 system together. That's where it comes from. That's your Fox pass through the E world. So are we keeping up to date? Is there anything? Hi, Tammy. Yes, sorry, I'm not keeping up with a lot of them. Fish had a drunken component to it. Oh, I like to understand that. Fish had a drunken component to it. Bird, feminine component, okay? This is what Mr. Messer is saying. It's past my bedtime. Interesting to see. Attack fans interacting, though. Good night, sir. Thank you very much. Somebody that I've been following that's following me for the past 10 years. His name is The Keys to Wisdom. He can be found on YouTube. Very interesting fellow. He knows a lot about electricity, and he can put the electricity to the test in the numbers. So anyways, besides the shout out, I'm 22 messages behind unless they're all likes, right? And that's where your 420 comes in, absolutely. The Fox is 45, Pass is 55, right? Through to in the E world. So anything that adds up to 5, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 5 can be found in others' houses. You can have 5 in somebody else's house. Another thing about 5. Well, I'm just trying to move my paper here. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, hold on. Yes. Okay, yes. Just 1 second. 4, 3, 3, 2. No. Okay. 2 times 7 equals to 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 8 times 4 is 32. 2 and 3 is 5. Now, I don't know why I marked the other one. It's not supposed to be here. And that's it. Can anybody create another 5? Oh, yes. There's one other 5. 9 times 8, 9 times 7. No, 8, no, 7, no. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here it goes. 5 times 1, 5. 7 times 2, 14. 1 and 4, 5. 8 times 4, 32. 5. There's no other way to create your 5. I use 2, 4, 6 numbers to create that. 1, the heart. You see, I created it with the heart. I had to use the E world to create it. This is a connection. let's not count this because it's a connection. Now here what you connect, the 8 and the 7, the queen and the king. Also that's going to be noted is that's your base creation to the gateway. I'm going to explain that to you. So let me write it out. I'll show you. Because we need 1 and 2 to create. Whoop, that was funny. Is my camera down? Because we need 1 and 2 to create, right? What is missing with the 1 and 2? Every side is 9. So I'm missing 8 and 7. This is where the 8 and 7 come about. Yes, you can add other numbers to create 8 and 7. But we also have to see what we can connect to on the cube. 8 and 7. 7 and 2, 9. 8 and 1, 9. So when I'm using the 3 numbers over here, right, this 7, this has to be located. Either I can go a 5 and 2, 7, but in a single digit on a cube, because this is your base creation, therefore it has to be done on its own cube. This is to be done on its own cube. Analog, digital, after the death, before the Christ, 1. In between 1 and 4 is 2 and 3. To the lower house, it is 1, 2, 3 is A, B, C. And to the higher house, it's B, C, D, or 2, 3, 4. Nibiru is number 73. With Great Britain, it's number 73. Your 73 is your base creation coming into the gateway. Only when you reflect it and come across the gateway, 4, 5, and 6, the Federation, do you come into life as man 6. 6 and 4, 10, 7 and 3, 10. Where do I get the 6 and 4? 2 and 4 equals to 6, 5 and 8 equals to 13. 1 and 3 equals to 4, Pythagorean count. It's happening on the internet right now. Whatever I do, you can find it somewhere in a mathematical equation. I just simplified everything. ABC 1, 2, 3 is a reflection of the 9, but the whole thing is everything passes through 5. 2 and 3 are the only ones. This is a division. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 6 and 5, 11. Right, the 1, you follow here, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. When you multiply it, 2 times 3 is 6. The 1 doesn't multiply into anything. So it's like 6 minus 1. But anyways, 3 and 2 equals to 5. 3 and 1 equals to 4. 2 and 1 equals to 3. It becomes 5, 4, 3 to the connective side. 5, 4, 3. So I'd have to do 1, 2. Okay. So you're going to end up looking like this at the end. But this is going to get confusing because I don't know. I don't even like the way I wrote it. Yeah, so we need a little bit of more Discord. What happened there to, did you have to go? Let me see what's going on here. Oh, Mr. Keys, did you write me back? Yeah, let me see what's happening. Oh, I like that. The zebra. Let me read this over here. Those who have ears to hear. And with the word hear, all you're missing is the transition to put the T to ear for heart or for earth. When the bird, woman, flew from the coop of man, religion, world, that is when the bird flew, right? Pretty good. When did the bird fly? Well, the blue flew. The bird flew, right? Get it? Very good. I like that. The bird flew. Very good code.
I'm sorry, can you go to the back of that again? Go to the beginning of that?
Of the bird flu?
Talking about the bird flu, yeah. Okay.
Well, can you see it? The bird flew. I don't know where the bird flew to. Okay. FLU, you can look at flux. So there's something wrong possibly with the flux in the word. The three letters of the word flew is 633. Right? So it's a completion from what is it's recreated because it's within itself. Then about to eat the zebra. And when we say the word ate, it'd be nice to also remember eat at the same time, because you ate, you eat, so all the denominations that go with eat. So Yaz said the Genesis or gene synthesis 6:3, Revelations 12:6. It actually says Revelation 12:1 and 2, 3, and then 6:6. What do they mean by pinned comments? What does that mean? What does that mean to pin a comment? Let me see. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
You save it to a board. It's like pinning it, like in your language. But you take normally, in the old days, you would take a pin and you would pin your message on your message board.
Right.
So you can do this here electronically. By pinning the comment, you can kind of save it.
Right.
Or put a marker on it.
Okay. When I start to think like that, I disconnect. The train track just went into the 19th hole.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
So now we can also look at, so what is number 19? Well, number 19, okay, is going to connect number 1 and number 10. 19 will connect both 1 and 10. And 18. 19 connects 18, 19, 1 and 10. Can you figure out why really slowly? Figure out why. Why does 19 connect the numbers 1, 10, and 18?
Because it's a 1. You add 1 to 18. You add 1 and 0 to 9.
Brothers, forgive me. I just came across your live. I was just scrolling around. So I follow the Bible. So when I heard you talking about the bird or the woman escaping, I immediately went to Genesis 6:3, which is according to the biblical narrative. So I'm not trying to come against your narrative. I'm trying to find a chord with what you were speaking to my spirit when I heard what you were talking about. That God said in the biblical doctrine, he gave us 120 years. So when you go to Revelation 12:6, that the woman took wings of an eagle and fled the dragon, right? And so the eagle is the Southern Cross that the Cretians called the Crux constellation, that they fled into the wilderness. And so that also, so it says 1,260 days. So when you divide 1260 by 365, you get 3.5. So that's the time times half a times prophecy of Daniel, that America has colonized Guam for the last 126 years. And then the 0 goes back to Genesis 6:3, how long my people have been over here by the Marianas Trench. And then it's also reconfirmed in our, Star Cave, that we've been here anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 years. And that we are a lost tribe of Dan, the navigators. And so the second time in Revelation where it says that the dragon spit water after the woman who followed the Southern Cross, and my islands are at the Marianas Trench, the New Hebrides Trench. We are the crown setting for the ring of fire that goes all the way to the continent of North America and South America. So that's how I postulate what you're saying goes to. And then my people have been here 3,500 years. Time times half a times. When you go to Isaiah 42, it talks about the isles wait for the law. When you go to Isaiah 60, it talks about the island of Zion, that all the Gentiles will come and restore all of mankind to the laws of God, which we become co-heirs with Christ, that you, my brother, are reading another doctrine
Boom.
that corroborates the doctrines that are found in the creation story of the Bible. So you have a truth that resonates with my spirit. I go, dude, this guy's talking about Revelation. This guy's talking about Genesis. This guy's talking about all this stuff. And you're reading a wall. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Well, I'm gonna let you in on something, because part of that story that I just told came off of the gentleman named Keys to Wisdom, who's on my other site. So, but it does resonate with me what you said, okay? And I have to reread what they said, because the word bird, okay, is number 33. Okay? 33 is going to be the last. 33 is the end of all numbers. There's no more than 33.
Well, yeah,
Okay, guys, get Dummy's cat
so you were
food.
talking about you were going through 19. I think you came to 19.
Right, 19.
So it has been my experience as I go through the crooked ways of my mind, heart, soul, to conquer the spirit that has a propensity for great subjective morality, which could be wickedness in other people's eyes, that it doesn't manifest outside of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? That I try not to fall to these temptations. You're using the doctrines that all of you have used to stay blameless, to stay just.
We need sugar.
That is what a follower of God is, no matter what doctrine they follow. The Hindu, the Muslim.
We need
You know
sugar.
what I'm saying? That's the Romans
Sugar.
13 and 15. Unless I come with a clipboard and I look at my brother Revealer,
No.
or my brother Tweaker looking for lobster and bacon in your cupboards, who's the oppressor? Who's the colonizer? Enforcing the laws that I live by on you. No. You guys are just blameless without fault. That, like I said, I just scroll through. I go, what is this? He's talking about Revelation. You know, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what you're talking about. But it resonated with the laws that I live by, the truth I live by. So whatever it is you're doing, when God comes back, the Creator, whatever you want to call it. So to me, the Creator is the God of gods. That's Deuteronomy 10:17. So the God of the 12 tribes is the God of the Hindus, the God of the Anunnaki, the God of the Muslims. His name is Ah. It's in Jeremiah 4 times. It's in Ezekiel. You know, it's the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It's the Aksek.
You know what though is what he's putting numbers to it. Like what I understand now is
Bottle or the real thing?
I knew that each
The dry stuff or the real thing?
alphabet in the English alphabet,
The numerical. Yes, brother. Yes.
but everything in the Bible numerical as well.
Yes. Yes. So that's the
sorry. It has to do with
You're making my skin chicken. You know what I mean? I'm getting all. If I had a beard, it would just be amping out. You know, left, right, center, just static out. Your frequency is resonating with mine tremendously. The light that you're speaking. So the gematria of the Bible is to cross-reference any verse that confuses you. That's all I've done for 21 years. That if I saw like there was stuff in the Bible that I never questioned the Bible. I always questioned my understanding of it. So if I looked at something, I go, well, what does that mean? And even when I cross-reference it, I would cross-reference to the 10th generation. What I mean is this. So, and forgive me for taking over your chat. Drop me anytime.
Oh, no. Go. Listen, this is what it is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna teach you that you guys are following the same commandments that I follow. So Matthew 22:37, right? That is what the Protestants will tell you, and I do as well. That's the first and great commandment of the Bible, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. But the gematria, the code, the hidden secret of the Bible is cross-referencing. So what does that mean? It's the first and great commandment. Well, when you cross-reference it to the 10th generation, you will understand the mystery of the kingdom. That was not preached to the four corners of the earth. That Jesus is actually quoting Deuteronomy 4:29, Deuteronomy
potatoes,
6, Deuteronomy 12, Deuteronomy 11 verses 1, 13, 22, Deuteronomy 13:3, Deuteronomy 19:9, Deuteronomy 26:16, Deuteronomy 30 verses 2, 6, 10, 16, and 20. So by reading the
Eggs!
context of those Deuteronomy, that's the
Shit.
second law.
I don't
because
even
there
think
was
they
no
have
temple.
eggs anymore.
And we're in the wilderness.
Dreaming.
Wherever you are, brother, wherever you three guys on the panel and the other five in
$5
the chat
for
are,
4.
you're in the wilderness of, according to the doctrines of God, Satan runs the earth.
No, this
you
is
guys
Walmart.
have been able to see the truth through the lies of Satan. You
good as
already
it
did the
gets.
kingdoms of the
Dum
world
dum.
and the glory, and then you already sought that Solomon prodigal son running. You said, you know what, it's not worth it. I just want to exist in a place where nobody messes with me about seeking that God of my understanding. Does that make sense, bro? And since the gospel has not been preached to the four corners, I cannot judge you by the law. I can only judge you by your spirit, that you resonate with my spirit that only deals with the word of God, so that I can hear the word of God out of your mouth. And you haven't quoted one verse because the spirit of truth is in you, that it resonates. You know what I mean?
It's an encoded system.
Yeah, cross-referencing breaks the code.
No, I'm talking about.
Wait, take a verse. Give me something that you. And again, it's for your consideration. I'll never demand that you have to see what I see or hear what I hear. Is there a verse in the Bible that just kind of? Oh, I'll give you a perfect example. Revelation 12:17, Revelation 14:12, that the dragon, the guy who runs the earth, was wrath with the woman. That's the Holy Spirit that's guiding you guys. That's the wisdom. That,
If the numbers are telling us there's no
yeah,
devil.
so what's the numbers, bro? So do the numerology. I'm familiar with.
I'm going to tell you something.
Well, hang on, bro, because the remnant of her seed keep the commandments of God as their testimony of Jesus. None of you guys do that, but I'm still going, I don't know, man. I hear the truth of the scriptures coming out of this guy's mouth. I don't sense adversary. I don't sense opposition. I sense a chord with the frequency of what they're speaking resonates with what it says in the Bible, brother. That the patience of the saints is to keep the commandments of God as their testimony of Jesus, or faith of Jesus. You may not have the faith of Jesus, but you have the testimony of God, the truth that rules your mind, heart, soul, spirit, that you can't help but speak to it. I don't come against that. You know what I'm saying, bro?
You know, when you were talking, I was thinking of something, because every time I think religion, there's one thing I think about, and it's the pig.
When you understand that there's no devil, then boom, you can be free.
I can understand that, brother, but according to the book that I read, how come nobody understands what you guys are talking about? Because you guys have been set free from the darkness of this earth.
It's called
cognitive dissonance, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I know. Do you know the Roman word for cognitive dissonance is? Delusion. Do you know what the Greek word? Hang on, bro, but do you know what the Greek word for? Because you're coming against the truth of God that I'm in agreement with what you guys are talking about. So I'm going to put you in place, okay?
I never
Forgive
said
me.
once I
The
was
Greek word
against
for delusion.
what
The Greek word for delusion is hello, bro. I'm trying to give you the truth of the Greeks.
Yeah, but
Hold on, can I interrupt for a second?
Brother, no, because I'll jump off because I feel like I'm vexing the spirit of the room. But I'm just going to give you the truth of what it says in the Greek of what a delusion is. That according to the Greek translation of 2 Thessalonians 2:11, my God sends a strong delusion to that person. That word in the
Jesus
Greek
bless you.
translation is
I'm
planao,
3.
where the word planet comes from.
And your
That it's
sexy
a delusion,
nails.
that you are on the wrong path, that you have wandered away from the truth of God. That's what it says in the Greek, bro.
Exactly.
And if you believe you live on a planet, then you are deluded by my God. That's why I'm not going to
on a
let
ball
you just jump out. God bless you, bro. Take care, guys. I love what you're doing. Tweaker,
Well,
God bless you.
don't disappear yet. Don't disappear. I wrote down some stuff that you said.
Cognitive dissonance, right? He's gonna.
Don't disappear, because you said
I just
some
gave you the
words.
definition in the Greek.
You're not even taking what I have to say. Everything I
Because you
have
know, yeah, I don't have to listen to you. You believe it.
Hold on a second. Hold on. If you need to speak to say something, it doesn't matter. That's off the subject. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're
pissing me off.
Listen, it doesn't matter. We're not here to argue, to discord. Really, everybody has to.
That's what I mean, bro. I was in total accord with you, and then Tweaker decides to come up
But it doesn't care. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter what happened.
You guys do what you do. I love what you're doing, Tweaker. Fuck you and Jesus.
See how he had to make that comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
His energies align with what he wants, and it's not what he wants.
Well, that was very bad. Anyways, and he wouldn't let me speak, so that he wasn't honest to me. So
He was right.
okay, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. Let's forget it.
Yeah, let's just open
Okay,
the window.
I want to show you this. I want to show you this. When he came in here, right? He mentioned this 10th generation, right? But he didn't want to stick around to see what that 10th generation can be, because only 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 will come to the 10th generation, but not 3, 6, or 9. When 3, 6, or 9 come to the 10th generation, they're already into the third house.
Exactly.
Reason for that, I'm going to tell you why. Because the straight count of 1 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It took me 10 to get there. The straight count of 2 will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. It took me 10 to get there. The straight count of 4, the straight count of 5, the straight count of 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, and all of these take 10. These two take 4. This one takes 2. This is your 10th generation. Replicating the 3, 6, and 9. Making everything less than it is. Do you follow? At the same time, there was the word temptation. Well, in the word temptation is communication. Does anybody see this? Tell me what you see in temptation. It's directly in front of us. It's talking about the hexagon. It's talking about 666. You give your cat temptation. Then he said number 21. When you add 1 to 21, it equals to 231. 3 times 77, the power of Christ. 231, the word cat is inside of this word. This is your ABC creation. Cat is ABC. A1, T2, C3. Your ABC 6 creation is through the communication of the cat, because without the communication of the cat and the sperm, you cannot have a child. On the 91st day, what happens? And from the beginning, it's because of the moon connection that we have by the air you breathe, that you breath in. The woman does not get pregnant unless she's breathing. And you're not breathing just the air you breathe. The air you breathe is a story in its own.
You said sugar or no sugar?
Inside you is it's growing the child in the womb through the help of the connection of the
sugar
sperm eating the egg. But it doesn't grow.
Yes or no?
The house lets you breathe. Did I sound a little loud?
You sounded passionate. That guy kind of killed the mood. My phone had died, and I got in on the end of it. I have no idea what the beginning was, and I don't know if I even want to know.
Oh, don't worry about it. He was
bringing about something that we resonated with him, but the issue was that he had to lead us back into the doctrination of his thing. But we have to move on. Like our friend said here, we have to get past that. We have to forgive and forget and move on.
Yes, I feel like we're all connected.
Well, it's easy to forget because
one of us just doesn't know it yet.
Well, I just.
Yeah, everybody's on their own path, guys. We have to focus on our own path.
Oh, I just did something. I just made magic. I didn't do it yet, but I can create magic very soon. You want to see my magic? He's banished.
Okay. Oh.
Did you block him with your cube?
No, I didn't block. I didn't block anybody. But just to tell you that over time, how do you banish somebody is by removing them from your communication system and thoughts. Just to remember, like a cat. The cat doesn't remember all the evil things, but when it shows up in the situation, all the zodiac signs, the one that it needs to remember that situation, will come right back to the cat's mind, and the cat won't forget you, and neither will the dog. Because they're connected to the zodiac in a 3-4-3-4-3 formation. When you say a 3-4-3-4-3 formation, what it actually means is a 1. Okay? It's a 1-3-3-1-3-1. Which means I go from Wednesday, I go backwards to Tuesday, I go backwards to Monday, I go to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I come onto the hump day of Wednesday, and then I go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's the 3-1-3. The 1 point is that touchdown of your receivership here on this planet Earth, born onto this planet under the divided sun. Your 3 and 3 are your field goals, where your father gave you the boots. Gave you the boots. Here's your boots. And you got your boot and you got your wings. You're 10 and you're 30. You're 1 and you're 3. You're 13 for your bar mitzvah. You're 3 years and you're 1
Kind of
year.
like Santa's little boots.
Santa's little boots. Maybe that's why we hang stockings on the fireplace. You want to figure out why you hang stockings on the fireplace? Right over here.
Right there. On your calculator. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, don't be sorry. If anybody like to come here and join the live, it looks like what? Oh.
I missed that. Sorry. I was stoking my fire.
Okay, I brought somebody.
I want to take a shot.
That's so great, guys. I'm serious.
So let's see. I brought somebody else up, I think, but I think they disappeared. Did you want to come up, Journeyman Grace? I'm going to make some hot water. If anybody wants to go do their own creating, you're allowed to create 1 and 2. Right? We're going to create 1 and 2 out of here. Yeah, I'm going to go get some more hot water. Let's take a 2-minute break. If somebody needs to breathe, if you want to come up, okay, there it is. We're going to be bringing somebody up.
Commercial break.
Comic commercial, yes. Welcome to the live. This is, how can I say it? It's more or less for entertainment purposes only. I like to say that. I'm just trying to figure out what were the words I sometimes use of what I do. I can't remember. Maybe it's the time. I have to get a drink. But go ahead. How are you doing? Welcome to the show, or welcome to the show where I observe and I share my findings. If it's on a calculator, I'm going to show you. I'm going to create a game out of it to balance off everything, so every side's reflection will be fair to the other side. Every game brings fairness to all the opponents in the game. So it's a system of fairness that when we all learn, we can't hide the pieces or the parts because they're right in front of you. It's the alphabet, it's the calculator, it's the dice cube, it's every single game. Tennis, baseball, football, soccer, every single game has rules and regulations. And inside this game, I go ahead and I look and I piece it apart. I take the parts out. I look at the zodiac, how I can put it together towards the zodiac, how I can put it together through the 12 months of the year, how I can understand it through the 52 weeks, which is broken up to 13, 13, and 13 weeks according to the deck of cards. They break up each deck of cards after 13 cards, so I break it up the same way. We also run it to the 13 moons. We run it to the 7 days a week. 7 by 13 equals to 91. The 91st day is April 1st, and that's the first day of communication between the birth child and the mother coming into this world. That's what it works out to because of the 29th of February. Sorry about that, Journey Man. How are you today? I can't hear. I'm just going to get a warm water in the kitchen. Let me get this water over here. Just give me a minute. Oh, where's the kettle? Wow, I even lost the kettle. I thought losing a pencil was one thing. Yeah, I'm putting that on. Just have a little cat food over here so I get some good communication. I need a little bit of this, a little bit of honey.
I like this thing.
You're like the man in the box right now. You painted the inside of your box.
Let's see if I
It's
can.
so funny how many people have thought your house is a fake background. Why
Oh,
do
did
people
they?
think it's fake?
Of course it's fake. That's all fake. That's all fake. What does it mean, fake?